Hey kiddos. Um, Intended to be final broadcast here. There's nobody in the room now. That's how it was even when there were a couple people that would come in. So this is for anybody that watch this part. I guess is for anybody that watches after it gets put up. So I don't know, tomorrow, whatever. At that point, I intend at this moment to move on. My the bulk of my broadcasting to another game. I don't. I haven't played it to this year's version of it yet. I've been waiting since March, and it became available. So I can't say for sure, but I'm probably gonna go pick that up tomorrow. Give me something to do for the weekend, since this is very dead at this point. I still have more stuff in here. My last broadcast was finally getting the Chelios Legend. I played with him in one game. This is so I'll just pretend like I guess I'm talking about the Wings version of Chelios, but the truth is I actually respected that version of Chelios as well. But as a Hawks fan, to get me to say Chelios is fucking terrible. The card plays horrifically. I understand. It was just an offline versus CPU game, and I don't know. Considering the current tuners and updates that were on in this game, an argument can be made that I'm playing against a higher level player than maybe somebody else, like who got Chelly as soon as he was mathematically possible, which should have been I tried to figure this out earlier today, but probably somewhere between mid-January and mid-February, I think, is probably when it was first possible. And then he wouldn't have been that bad at that time, in my opinion, but I would have no way of knowing because I did not play with the card at that time. I just got it today and I played it in one game, and that's the smallest subset possible. It was a 4-minute game, so he got plenty of ice time, despite the fact that he was my third line defender, because he didn't even deserve to get that spot. I just wanted to play with the card. Yeah, I mean, so it was a full game. It was fuck you spamming me for at 3 a.m. Fucking pricks. So it was this game here. I can't seem to get through these, but I was stuck on the set. Take your time, man. I've only pressed down 4,000 times. Jesus fucking Christ. So I'm on to the 6th one. I was stuck on the second one. Was it the second one? No, I was stuck on the first one, I think, for a while. I don't remember being stuck on the Oilers very often. Very long, I should say. Because I play as the Oil Kings, so it was like a weird thing that and I used the Edmonton arena because you can't use this for whatever reason. I guess they don't have the rights to them or something. I don't know. So I thought I was stuck on the second challenge for a long time, but I don't think so, because that would have I would have had to have like turned off the all of the PA and announcing and all that stuff at that point, because it's like Edmonton versus Edmonton, even though one team is not actually the Oilers. It just would have been no bueno. Although I think in these, yeah, I know actually these ones you play away, so I would have been playing the Oilers in their actual arena as opposed to playing as the Oil Kings at home in whatever Edmonton's. I don't follow the Oilers in real life, so I don't care about them at all. So I've been stuck on a couple of these. Now this is the one I guess I'm stuck on at the moment, and it's like, why? 2,000 coins, then 2,250 for 3 of them, and then a gold common player. Oh geez, thank you so much for the gold common player. These are locked. I can't even get to these yet. $22.50 to start, $2,500 starting on the third one, and then what, $27.50? Nope, just $2,500 for the for 9th out of 10th. Jesus Christ! If you can beat the Golden Knights on Superstar 4-minute games, and then an entire gold pack. If you can beat the defending Stanley Cup champs at that time, Washington Capitals on Superstar, for 4 minutes. You know, those gold packs that all of us were supposed to get like 40 of during the course of the year because we paid $100 for this game. Super useful. Got tons and tons of just mind-blowingly fantastic cards from those. I don't know how many I put on this channel, but I should go back and look because gold packs are just AIDS. They really are. They're so terrible. I'm a few minutes in though, and I'm a couple of drinks in as well. So what? See there on the other king, because it wasn't mine. I thought I would do just a quick little thing on derivations or derivatives, whatever you want to call them. How they're out of line in this game, and I don't blame EA or EA Vancouver specifically, or any of the devs for that. They don't build invalid price mechanics into the game. Generally, there's at least one example I can show in which they kind of do, but it's whatever. We'll get to that. This isn't going to be a marathon one. I don't feel like doing it, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking of doing all right, so I almost said my name in that one. Not a good idea in an anonymous attempts at shit. Anyways, but yeah, a drunk version of whatever my name is was about to say I'm like a teacher's aide in a MBA level game theory course, by my opinion the most prestigious university in the United States in that field. Although that could potentially be argued, John Nash and others came from University of Chicago, and I am a Chicago boy, born and bred, lived here all my life. So yeah, I'd say U of C for clearly is huge for game theory, or they were. Not a ton of cutting edge stuff that I'm aware of that they've released, at least. That doesn't mean that they're not working on it. But no, not that institution, and also it's in partnership with what I'm told. I wouldn't know, because I don't really give that much of a shit about Canada, to be honest, but I'm told it's in partnership. People, that statement probably would probably get me fired. But they should take it as harmless fun and jokes, because I actually like them. They're sometimes more helpful than the people from my institution. But what I'm told is one of the top institutions up in the great wild north up there. Good partnership that existed way before I got involved, and I happen to be involved now. So I was gonna do a game theory type channel officially, publicly, and promoting it a little bit, maybe not dropping F-bombs every 2 words. Can't upset the sponsors. And what kind of sucks is, since nobody's gonna actually watch this fucking thing, we'll just throw a little shade at the game theorists, which I don't even know what they're fucking calling themselves now. I've tried to block that fucking prick on YouTube, which is like the only place that I exist online. I refuse to do social media anymore. I'm so fucking sick of it. I was sick of Facebook like the start of this decade. I mean, I hated it before then, but I was done with it by the start of this decade, and was forced kind of, unfortunately for me and unfortunately for everybody else involved, I was kind of forced to come back to it and a few other things during the course of this decade, meaning the 2010s, and that just did not work out. It was no good. But currently, I'm basically out of all of that. Actually, I guess I signed up for an Instagram account today. I skipped like literally the whole thing. So whatever an egg is there, because as you can tell, I have spent probably more time on Twitter than anything else. Shouldn't surprise anybody in America, considering we have a Twitter president at this point. But whatever an egg is in Instagram, and I think it's just it's some sort of, it looks like a fucking squid to me. I have no idea. So I guess I signed up for that, but I skipped the whole thing, so I don't have like a profile, and it used a fake name off of a fake email, so I'll forget about it as long as they don't send me some like reminder of like, hey, you're on the blah blah blah. I did the same fucking thing sometime in the last year, I think, probably, yeah, sometime like probably 9 months ago or so, with Pinterest, because I just felt like it. I was just kind of curious if like a cis straight white male could find any value whatsoever in the site. I was on for like 2 seconds. It was bored as fuck, and I guess it forces you to say stuff that you're somewhat interested in. So like to this day, not egregiously so. It's not like a ton, but occasionally on, I think, a fake email address, I get emails like that, like, here's stuff to look at. I was like, no, thanks. And I haven't bothered to like block it or whatever, because I just don't even care. So as of today, I think Instagram is that for me. But if they don't like send me any reminders or anything like that, I'll probably just completely forget about it and not give a shit. Moving on. So point was, it's just YouTube for me, and so having that piece of shit that runs Game Theorists, or whatever the fuck, as I said, whatever they're calling themselves these days, because they after the one dude killed himself, literally, I'm not fucking around. I'm not making light of suicide. They absolutely didn't really make light of it, but they that was part of my huge beef with them, is that they spotlighted what occurred basically the same way that 13 Reasons Why spotlighted teen-based suicide and other mental health problems, but America fucking loves it apparently, because we're already into season 2, and I tried to watch the first, like, I don't even know how long I got. Like, I think I tried to watch like the first like 5 minutes of season 2. I forget why it didn't go, or maybe I just threw things at things until it stopped. Because I was like, I'm not doing another season of this. I understood the problems with the first one enough, and I forced myself to watch, I think, the entire thing, so that I could have a fully formed view or opinion, or whatever you want to call it, on what it is that those assholes did. And I'm including whatever the fuck the Disney broads is with that, Gomez, she's not my generation, clearly. Selena Gomez, she's an EP there, although they didn't seem to be spotlighting her at all for the season 2 stuff. So I'd kind of like to think that maybe she figured out that it's fucking atrocious, but she's financially connected to it, and it's going to make her money. Um, and on something as important as mental health in general, but specifically like teen-based issues that can lead to um, serious problems, especially finality, such as suicide. Yeah, you should fit from that, which is absolutely what that show does. When they did the behind the scenes stuff, it was very clear that there were a couple of folks that I couldn't really tell if they considered themselves to be showrunners, but they absolutely were running some shit behind the scenes, and they went on in front of the camera to talk about certain stuff, and it was very much like it's like the the opposite of the integrity um, fuck um, the opposite of the integrity of um, the original Beast, Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's fucking integrity. Whereas they were doing the opposite of that, which is like, I'm just here so that I can profit off of the misery of at least tens of thousands of young Americans presently, to say nothing of those that have come before. It's fucking atrocious. It's so terrible. And in that same vein, that fucking prick at Game Theorist did the exact same thing. I don't think it's a false equivalence. I think it's nothing is the exact same thing, but it's in the same vein. And you could be like, well, he's a YouTuber. He's creating content. He's all about philosophy, and he's into the theories behind games and the theories behind films, no, he's a fucking actor. He went to acting school and couldn't get a fucking job, and took a job while trying to get a job as an actor, working behind the scenes for some YouTube channels, but not the channels themselves, but all the bullshit now money men who run all those things that didn't have any clout or money or fucking anything back then, but figured out how to put themselves in a position to try to get there, and he helped them do that. But he was a fucking coffee paperboy when he first started, and I guess learned things, and then started his own channel, and now knows everybody behind the scenes because of it. I don't give a fuck. The point is, the guy is an actor, and anybody else that's associated with the channel, I don't give a fuck about any of them either. I do kind of care about the person who I didn't know who killed himself, because that, like, there should be no reason why that should ever happen. And as a survivor myself, I think even before my personal experience with that, I think I was maybe I felt I was more attuned to those types of concerns from others. But certainly since my thing, I my radar goes up, I guess you'd say, and it's not all bad. There's some good ones out there. I'm not gonna look to spotlight those at the moment, but generally I get it. It's the business of show, which is literally every form of media, including the one that you are on right now, YouTube. And that's kind of my point with Game Theorists. And all I'm trying to say on that, what the fuck? Okay, don't press R2. Noted. The thing I was trying to say about that is that I literally have tried to block him and all of his channels so many fucking times, and I'll be logged into my account in which I've blocked them, reported them, and tried to, like, basically send messages to YouTube of like, listen, I don't ever want to see any content from them in any way, shape, or form as a promoted video suggested for me, or as, if they choose to run ads for any of their content. I don't want to see it ever. And YouTube can't give a fuck, and I understand that to a certain extent. They're just kind of too big. But still, it's annoying. So the only reason why I actually brought that up is because I now can't, like, even to run an unsuccessful fledgling, but making a valiant effort, game theory based YouTube channel. It's like I'd be in the shadow of this fucking degenerate piece of shit that I want no connection with whatsoever at any point in my life. I don't care if it turns out that his personal persona is drastically different from his fake ass public persona, and he's really a good guy, plus he knows all the back end shit, and he could make my thing a thing. I'd tell him to fuck off. I'd ask how much money I'd have to pay him to never be a part of my life ever again. Not that he is now. I'm saying that the future thing, that's not gonna happen. But the thing that sucks is, my point is, I can't even, if I even put the word game theory in the title of the channel and the descriptors, and certainly with any of the SEO stuff or whatever, the tags, etc. It's I'd be be forever linked. I guess that's what happens when you had 3 drinks. You can't say words that are part of your everyday lexicon. And yeah, I went lexicon as opposed to vocabulary. Call me an ivory okay, or can't say that word either. Ivory tower elitist. I guess I'm getting amped up because I'm already starting to do the thing where I start to focus on the next word as opposed to the one that I haven't finished yet. That's a problem. So yeah, let's get into game theory stuff, right? Okay. Well, how should we do this? Maybe plan ahead. Next time, you fucking retard. It's me referring to myself as a retard. If you have a problem with the word, feel free to have a problem with the word, but the word was in a description of me. So, suck it. And we'll get to that one second. It's easier to do... This one sucks balls too, honestly. They've all been fucked at this point. And 3 gold collect. I've upgraded some alumni during the course of the year, mostly the beginning of the year when it was still a thing. I'll click. I'll see. I think 2 of these. Yeah. So only 1 is untradeable. I don't know how. I guess this is just from opening so many packs that were supposed to have legit collectibles, like the event collectibles, that did not. That I guess I have none of the bronze and the silver currently, and so I've just had enough of those that they've created goals. 3 is basically the max that I've ever had. Okay, so fuck. All right, so we'll start with this. A gold collectible, auction house. It's after hours. Prices are fucked. There's 203 items, and this asshole wants 10K. Okay, good luck. So just without looking at any others, we will see if for some reason the prices of these went weird. They did not. Okay, so it's 179, and you could buy now for less than 10. Is it where it's supposed to be? We will see. Probably. Okay, it is. That says 4,200. I'm gonna see if we go lower. Yeah, I mean, kind of. 18 out of whatever the original was. It's better than 10% you can get for a buy now of 4,000 or less. I saw 39. And 39 is going to take it. There are 18, though, at 4K or less at the present moment. And these, I mean, it's off hours. So let's use that. Let's use that as a starting point, and just to reiterate, because I feel like we're going to back into this number instead. 147 that you can get for less than 5K. So I think it's fair to say that the value in the marketplace on the PlayStation side for gold collectibles currently is less than 5,000 coins total, right? And we can say it's not unreasonable to get one, although it'd be tough probably with the bots to get even 10 of those 18 at 4K, which would be 40K, which would buy your carbon, which, Jesus, I gotta go into it's the legend sets now to prove this point better. Yep, I only have 23. I'm terrible at the game. What do you want me to do? Okay, well, there's gonna be one right here. These aren't really being sold a lot. Yeah, there's only 16 on offer. So we can just kind of skim through here real quick. I mean, as expected, that other than this idiot, most people are trying to see if they can get about 40K for the carbon. Because of what's going on right now with the legend sets and the ease of being able to get a full legend, and then to use event collectibles as opposed to these are referred to as basic collectibles, the bronze, silver, gold, and carbon. Using those instead, you can turn any of the legends into a 99, regardless of whether they were 88s. I think is the lowest one as far as legends go, like Domi, Tai Domi. Olchek is like an 88 or an 89, I think. Or if they're all the way up to Coffee was in 1997. I don't know. Brett Hull is a 94 and is the best card on the things that matter, skating and shooting. And Yari Curry is basically right there. His standard legend card, I think, was a little bit less than that. It was like a 90. Actually, I don't even know. Let's just say it was a 93. And you can upgrade it to a 99 with less collectibles if you do his Nations of Hockey 95 overall. It's whatever. That's kind of a different conversation. Point being, though, that like I don't really know why anybody would be focusing on those collectibles on the screen. That's a good shot of them. Bronze, silver, gold, and carbon. And supposedly, I don't know if Thrash was just like Jesse. I don't know if you were fucking around with people, because I can't follow all your live streams or whatever. So I just I kind of catch things after the fact. But you're pointing out that that you've won like 30 plus Div 1 titles at this point, or defended 30 plus Div 1 titles, and received no carbons. And you're an EA game changer, so you're clearly not trying to set off the EA folks. But it kind of suggested as though like the Div 1 title pursuit process was intended to try to win carbon collectibles, and you haven't gotten any of them, which is, so I'm just saying I'm confused by that. And then I'm also using that to say, like, I don't know why I haven't done it, so I would play through that process to get the legend Horton, especially if I could then upgrade him to a 99. But he'd probably be good enough to play somewhere on my D, even though Chelios isn't, and Chelios is higher rated. So maybe not. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I don't know why you'd focus on kind of any of these collectibles. I'm just using it as an example to talk about derivation, right? So if we just make this easier because they come in fives, let's just lie and say that the gold collectibles are still worth 5,000. And so let's say that the carbons are still worth 50,000. They're not. It's more like 4 and 40, or slightly more, but not as much as 5 and 50. So if that's the case, and you would derive the value of the carbon collectible simply based off of the value of the gold collectible, because outside of, I guess, maybe being able to get a carbon um, from online seasons and a Div 1 title, which I can't even get out of. I don't think I've even advanced to like Div 7, and I stopped playing a long time ago, and I basically suck at competitive events in this game and in most things and everything in games and whatever. So I would do it again for like the Horton. I wouldn't really be like trying to get a carbon. That seems odd. Um, and I think I maybe I'm way off on this, but I think that early something of competitive, whether it was the extra events, I don't know what we're calling those now, just competitive seasons, or if it was HUT champs. I felt like something early on was giving away a carbon collectible if you, at least if you finished high, and that might have only been like top 100. But back when everyone was playing, being in the top 100 players on the PlayStation side is quite a feat, assuming you're actually playing. Um, so I think I don't know. I think that like if you finished high enough, you might have got like one carbon collectible. Probably super early on when they were still trying to push the Alumni to Legends process, since the whole idea of Legends was supposedly new for this year. I'm looking at a copy, a hard copy of NHL18 in my purview at the moment. Haven't touched it since 11 months ago, or actually almost 12 months ago. And I didn't care then. I don't really care now. But I was under the impression that the whole Legends thing was either new for this year or revamped in a way that was intended to be different. Moving on. Point is, I don't really come from anything other than right here, where you're taking gold collectibles and turning them into carbon collectibles. Regardless of how you attained the gold collectible, you could see that each individual gold collectible has a value to them. Now, the gold collectibles and carbon collectibles more so. I guess I'm tired. Lucky you. You won't have to listen to this for too much longer. More so than the bronze or the silver, the gold and carbon are both part of that aforementioned Alumni to Legend upgrade process, of which I have just barely done half of one. So because of that, their value from day one until now has been skewed. I could go into my watch list and show much higher prices over the course of the year for both of those collectibles right there, the gold and the carbon, that just seem absurd by end game standards, especially when you realize that you know, you're potentially doing it for a legend that like had a lower overall rating, as well as being generally slower, and in some cases like a much worse shot than upgraded current players on their informs. But point being, if none of that other shit existed, if the only thing that could create a carbon was 10 gold collectibles. The only way to properly derive the value of the carbon collectible is to take the value, true as it may be, of a single gold collectible and multiply by 10, and that's what you get for the value of a carbon. It's super straightforward, super easy, but it gets really convoluted and fucked up in these games because there are other aspects to it, and there's people, and there's sometimes more people, more dickheads, generally speaking, as well as automation and bots, etc., than there are like true players who are playing appropriately. And you could have people, like me, that might have gotten kind of, I don't know, flustered with certain aspects of the game during the course of the year. When you look at, that's not a good pick. Let's go to the out one. There you go. So actually, that doesn't look that great either. You pretty much have to go to the auction house to see this. But when you're just in the auction house looking at collectibles, and way before there were 40,000 different versions of them, if you had selected basic collectibles, you would see all 4 of those, and the probably, I would guess, at least like 2,000, I don't know, well, at least 1,000 of them that would be on offer at the moment for those 4 different types of basic collectibles. And maybe it's just me, I don't know, I have a certain color blindness, but it doesn't really have much to do with bronze and gold. It's red and green, and I guess there could be shades of those in bronze, I don't know, but I felt like since almost day one that the bronze collectibles looked way too similar to the gold collectibles, particularly in the auction house. Couple that with the fact that I would say kind of the same thing about the super tiny little flags that you see in the top left of a card, such as these things here, these team. There you go. There's the flags. The team item trade-ins. Now notice all 4 of those are actually gold. So that's a gold jersey, a gold icon that I don't, or logo. Sorry, logo. So yeah, you can trade those in. It's been so long since I've touched these things. A gold arena, and then I got thrown off because I don't think that I've noticed that they show coaches here. I need to go check this here real quick. Okay, so yeah, maybe they'll drop that like in 20 days. And I would fucking love that because I've quick sold for 200 coins every tradable head coach, with Michael Davidson being one example of them, that I've had, because there's no reason not to. I've got multiple duplicates of untradeable versions of all of the head coaches in the game, and would absolutely love an opportunity to trade them in for, I don't know, something huge like a silver common player. You fuckwads. So I don't think I've noticed that coach was even listed there, because I don't usually. I'm usually just like clicking in here as fast as I can, and I'm not really like looking at the graphics. I don't know, it's just me, I guess. But yeah, all 4 of those are gold. Doesn't really matter if you can tell the difference between a gold head coach and a bronze head coach, because they're it's like whatever. One gives you a +3 in whatever that team-based synergy is, and the other one gives you a +1. So gold is better. They both quick sell for 200, so get rid of your bronze. It's not fucking difficult. Interestingly though, on that screen, the Sharks arena doesn't have a tag on its top left, and I thought arenas did. Let's look at some examples. Whenever it feels like loading. No, I am wrong. Oh, so there you go. Any of those tradable? Yeah, so if anybody wants, well, I mean, Oilers is kind of my current one. I must have gotten an untradeable one that I made active. I think that's what happened. But yeah, if anybody wants Panthers or Oilers, yeah, those are the only tradable ones that I have. I'm gonna be basically doing a clearance of everything, anyways. But just hit me up. You can have those. Yeah, so I guess they don't have the tag, but as you can see right there, I'm not gonna go back into the other screen and show you examples, but the jerseys referred to by other people and myself sometimes as the sweaters, but listed as jerseys in the game, and the what I was calling an icon, but listed as logos in the game, which is more appropriate. I'd say they're right. It's more logos than icons. Those are both gold there, and when they're NHL teams, it's not really that difficult to figure that out. But when they're not, it's not as easy to determine. In my opinion, that tiny little tag up on the top left, when you're ripping packs, and it's on a much smaller scale than what you see right there on that screen. It's the scale is much closer to what you see at the bottom as opposed to the kind of upper to top right side or whatever. And so when you get a bronze one, it's difficult to even know the difference than the gold one. They look basically the same. And so unless you know it to be an NHL team, which are all gold, then it's like you don't really know. I'm going to come back here in a bit because there's something to talk about there. But in here, again, with the collectibles, made the point was made, move on, right? So, if the only usage, the only utility that these basic, that's how they're defined, basic collectibles had in the game was simply to start at bronze and trade in to get higher level ones, and they'd max out at carbon, and then let's make the whole thing fucking hypothetical at this point, right? So let's say that you bronze, silver, and gold were all untradeable and had no value whatsoever other than in creating carbon collectibles. But once you create a carbon collectible, then it becomes tradable. That might seem kind of far-fetched, and you'd be like, why would that exist in the game? Well, it basically did exist in the Alumni to Legend upgrade process. Once you finally turned them into legends, you could trade them, even if you were using untradeable versions of the alumni to create them. And I don't think that untradeable legends, at least the ones that were part of the upgrade process, I don't think that's even a thing. So moving on. But point being, that could have been a thing. It would have been stupid, but that wouldn't stop these guys. So like, say bronze, silver, and gold, all untradeable. Only thing you do with them is create carbon collectibles. And then once you create a carbon collectible, then you can trade them on the marketplace. And so we'd use all of that. End result, carbon collectibles are going for 50,000 coins. Not like on average, that's just like its permanent price that it has a hard time getting below or above. So it has both resistance as well as support at that price point. So if that were the case, even though they would be untradeable and technically have no real market value, you would still be able to derive the cases is unclear, which just shows, it's 5, 5, and 10. So you could still derive the value of a gold collectible by taking that set price of the carbon, saying 50k coins, dividing it by 10, and getting 5k coins, right? Then where you start to run into issue and why it's not necessarily true to the actual market when these things are tradable and you have potentially human error or people just trying to take advantage of shit. If a gold collectible is worth 5k coins, a silver collectible should be worth 1K coins. Now we know they're actually worth 4,000, so they should be worth, 20% of that as opposed to whatever they actually are going for. These don't sell very much. Okay, so there's 109 of them. There you go, 1,000 to 1,500. Prices do tend to vary, but you are seeing that. I would say it's okay. I guess they're picking like 850, so they are pretty spot on as far as being like a true 20% of 4K. But you're also seeing people still trying to get 1K out of them. So I think, in my opinion, I think both of those hold pretty well. And so then let's just use the higher number. It's easier to divide. So take the silver collectible and say it's worth 1,000 coins, and it takes 5 bronze collectibles to create 1 silver collectible. So you take that 1,000, divide by 5, 20% of 1,000, 200. That's getting into some tricky territory. Let's find out, I guess. There's 101 of these, 3,500. That person is doing what I was talking about, where they're clearly trying to catch somebody. They got 3 minutes left to try to do it. Bank. You fucking foreigner. That's like, it's just funny because it's like, EA is technically a U.S. company, but the production house is in Canada, and these things are global, so there are no foreigners. But yeah, they're trying to get 3,500. That's not gonna go. And 750 to 800, 200 to 500. What are people doing? Apparently, I need to get myself some bronze collectibles and sell them. This is absurd. What the fuck is going on? Why would you... Okay, so, I mean, this is what I was eventually going for. I'm kind of... I mean, a lot of these are the same seller. I'm kind of shocked. Let's see if anybody has this priced properly. No. I was saying no before it even came up. I'm like, no, they're not going to. I guarantee they're not. If somebody tried to buy out the market and sell them for... Jesus Christ. I don't get it. I really... Okay, so you can buy 2 at 500 from supposedly 2 different people. Well, and you can get the true price, 200. 200 is the true price. You can get that probably if you put a bid in next 25 minutes, and then all of a sudden Malming I don't fucking know. The problem is you put in a bid at 200 and then it sits there, nothing goes up, nothing goes down. You think you're gonna get it, and you check to look to see if you got it. And if you do, like I would do, like go ahead and add to watch list, then come in and place the bid at 200. You do all that, you think you get the thing. Sometimes they don't bother to wait until it gets down to the last minute or so. And then it's like it disappears, and you're like, what happened there? And you go and you check, and they just used the various methods that can be used to pull an offer from the marketplace, and it is no longer available. And I was the only one, probably, that was doing the true price. Bronze collectibles, the derivative value currently is 200 coins or less. Again, we're using a high number because we were using 50K for carbon, 5K for gold, 1K for silver, and taking 20% of that at 200. We use real fucking calculator, god damn it. Alright, so I just want to make sure that I get this 100% clear, because I'm already going to sound fucking stupid anyways. But if it was actually 4K on the gold, and so obviously, 5 of those is that, as we saw, that some people were selling the silvers at a true price of 800, and then the degenerate pieces of shit were selling the bronzes at 800, and I don't get that. but 20% of 800 is 160. So that was kind of why I was saying we might see something that's a little bit problematic. I didn't think it'd be people trying to sell bronze collectibles for the same price as a silver collectible, considering again that it takes 5 of the fucking things to you can get. Anyways, you can't. What would be a good? Well, a lot of mobile app games, particularly war quote unquote war social games, do not always, but they do allow you in some cases when things are building blocks or what's a proper term for that for them, like when they're there's a good word, I can't think of it, but when there's things like this, like where it's like where 5, take 5 bronze collectibles, turn it into a silver, and these things all have grades, right? So like the like your weaponry in your war shit or whatever, or your heroes, your legends, and whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. They have grades, right? So usually you can't degrade a hero in almost every game I've ever played, but you can degrade like equipment or particularly the whatever they refer to it as, like the pieces that go into the forging of that equipment, and so the equivalent of it here being that this is only progressive in nature for the trade-ins for the collectibles, and it works the same way on the player trade-ins. If we have time, we will get to that as well, because that is also kind of interesting in my opinion. But I'm sobering, so you're gonna have to hold a second here. Too much talk, not enough drink. So, it's just progressive. You can't, like, once you've turned 5 bronze into a silver, you can't regress it to say, okay, I want to unpack my 1 silver into 5 bronze collectibles. It wouldn't really surprise me that much to see that in future EA games. They probably have it in other things that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. I think maybe aspects of Madden work that way. I don't know. I played that game for like 2.5 weeks and I end gamed it. It was easy as fuck. I've not played 20, but I'm talking about 19. I played it, 9 months into the season, and I didn't get 100% completion, but I didn't need to. When your like whole team is like average, just straight 90, like pure 99s, like the equivalent in this game being like Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux's legends, the 99s that are 99 in every stat category, but also like I don't know, like also like really big and taking up a lot of space, and or super small and able to like fit through holes as running backs and stuff like that. When your team is that, it's like, all right, game over. I don't like need to even take this squad up against somebody else to see if I can like outplay them or whatever. Because it's either they beat a purely superior rated squad because it's being manned by an idiot, in this case me, or they don't. Well, it's like kind of the only 2 outcomes, so it's kind of like a lose-lose for me, and I tend to lose. So there you go. Point was, in this case, you can't take 1 silver collectible and say, okay, I'm going to unpack that, or whatever word you want to use, and say I'm gonna create 5 bronze collectibles out of that. As far as the way this game works, because you can't actually do anything with any of the bronze or silver collectibles, you can only do stuff with the golds and the carbons, and at this point they're also basically pointless too, but at least you can do stuff with them. It wouldn't make a ton of sense for you to be like actively trying to create bronze or silver other than this screen right here where you're trading them in to create golds and carbons, I guess, unless you're looking to make money in the auction house. And apparently you can sell bronze collectibles for the same price as silver ones for 800 coins, which is absurd. I should have sold all of mine, although I thought I tried to sell bronze for whatever it's shit, that could be another part of the problem. I don't have any of these, and I'm not going to buy one for 800. Shit. Do I have any? I don't think I have any. No. Crap. Okay, so potential issue, I guess, with this could be when the devs actually do put value in here, and they do that through the quick sell. So if the quick sell on a bronze collectible is that much higher, then it'll go up. But I have gold, and gold quick sell is 0. Sorry if that's hurting your head as I like think through the process. They're both 0. So silver and bronze should be 0 also, so quick sell shouldn't be an issue. So people are just being fucks selling these things for 800. So I've sold some, I'm sure, during the course of the year. I probably just sold them at what I thought was an appropriate price, and I don't recall trying to sell a bronze for the same price as a silver. It hurts my head to even think of how stupid that is, since there's no utility in the game outside of this screen for bronze and silver collectibles. Never ever will be. Game is already dead. It's like half a month left. They're not going to do crazy new shit with bronze and silver collectibles. Although those prices in the auction house, when you see crazy shit like that, when they're way off of their derived value, especially if it's changed, if it wasn't like that, and then all of a sudden it's like that, anywhere within like the 12 hours prior to the next server reset at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and it should kind of raise some red flags of like what's going on here. Although in this case, when they're selling them for more, like if it was like ahead of time, that's actually kind of the opposite of what you would normally see. But anyways, moving on, because I don't have examples. I can't make that make sense for you. Okay, so that would have made sense if it followed through, and then they fucked the bronze, right? But the rest of it is pretty straightforward. Carbons, if we were generous, we'd say is 50k, and therefore golds, if we were generous, were 50k, and then that would make silvers 1,000, and it would make bronze 200. Even though you can't sell anything for less than 50 with a buy now of 100. You don't have to have a buy now though. So you can very easily sell anything for 50. But using the true values, we'd say carbons are 40k, gold is 4,000, silvers are 800, and bronze are 160. Okay. Done. Moving on, right? Can we please? Thank you. You can also trade in 5 gold rare players for a gold collectible, and even though I would potentially argue that the better way to do this is with duplicates that are not alumni that can be turned into legends, since having a duplicate of a every other type of player has almost no value other than contract value, and contracts are rampant, and just simply adding a contract card gives you an extra 10 games. So I don't really see the need to have a duplicate of the exact same player card, like meaning the exact same player, the exact same rating, the exact same type. So just like say basic gold rare players at whatever rating they're at, right? So at 83, Phil Kessel, that I talk about in almost every single broadcast because I'm super annoyed at how I ended up with. Anyways, moving on. this right here is 5 of these for a gold collectible. And even though, as I was saying, I think that the GTO thing to do, which turns out once we got to Endgame, even before they did all this shit with the free agencies and the upgrades of the Legends to 99, and I don't know, supposedly everything that happened in 19 was planned outside of stuff that was planned and got fucked, like the Bobby Hole thing. So I guess that might have been part of their plan all along. I'd question that. It doesn't seem like a good strategy. It kind of worked out, but nobody's playing anymore other than me and Thrash. So, is what it is. But anyway, it's fucked. Because, like, the other thing is, too, in this trade-in set, and I could do one of these, I think I got, like, 5 random gold rares that I could just toss in here. And I know I do, I just, like, some of them I might want to actually use for my team or whatever. Or for just the better trade-ins. But I think the GTO thing to do, if you had, say, just assume that the only point of having the gold collectibles is the Alumni to Legend upgrade process. And I don't know the exact numbers of how many collectibles you need to get all 90 upgrades, assuming that that's how you wanted to go about things, not only because you wanted to have the Legends at some point and try them out and maybe keep a couple, even though none of them are endgame, or you wanted to have either the Mario Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky or both. You would need to do both. You'd have to do all 90 and get the untradeable Legend collectibles, and it's impossible to put a price on that because that's the only way that you get those, and they're always untradeable, and the only way that you can utilize them is by using them to trade in for, again, either the Gretzky or the Lemieux, and if you have all of them, you can do both. So that's a perfect example of how there's no true derivation for the Legend collectibles. And yes, us professionals, not as far as gameplay, not as far as hockey, not as far as this particular game, professionals in the field, social sciences, we if we really wanted to, we could quote unquote do the math. We could derive something, but it'd be a pain in the ass, and I would not. It sounds strange because I've probably been doing this for like 2 hours already, but I would not find a lot of value in doing that. I actually would almost see it as like no value or impossible to have value, and so therefore it would just be a complete waste of time, and time has a value. But it could be done. It's not done in the game. So in the game, there is no derivation of value for Legend collectibles. Move on. Okay. So all I was trying to indicate there is however many gold collectibles coupled with carbon collectibles, knowing that outside of kind of getting lucky, the only way to get the carbons is to either create them with gold collectibles or to just buy them straight away with coins, and knowing that the derivation from gold to carbon has held pretty again it's held its relative or derivative value, which I've already made this point, but I'll reiterate it here in case it was confusing then, or maybe it makes more sense now because we're talking about somewhat slightly different shit now. So whereas the price of a carbon collectible has fluctuated over the course of the season, and at one point went for a ton, and therefore the gold collectibles did as well, the relative or derivative value, the comparison between the gold collectible price and the carbon collectible price at any given point in time over the course of the season has generally held true to the relationship. So right now we're saying carbon's 40K, gold's 4K. When they were 10 times as much or 20 times as much, they still both kind of held the same relative value. So even if a carbon, say, was going for 500,000 coins, which it did, people tried to sell them for that much. I really hope no one bought them for that much. But then again, if those are the same people that are now rocking the stacked teams with Lemieux and Gretzky and thinking that they're badass because they're easily able to destroy those of us that suck at competitive play online, who are only playing the game because we're getting our daily completion for the complete online game, then like I don't feel bad anymore now that I've worked that out as to who that could be that did that. But yeah, carbons at one point people were trying to sell them for 500K, and at the same time people were trying to sell the gold for 50K. So it still held its relative value that gold was basically 10% of carbon, even though those specific numbers would be anywhere from 10 to 13 and a half times their current respective values. The 10 to 1 nature still held true. So whatever that, I don't know what the number is. The only way I'd either have to look it up online, or I'd have to go through every single one of the legend upgrade sets, and this is already long enough as it is, and I don't feel like doing that. The issue is that each alumni to legend had a different status, value, whatever. And so where the one that we clicked on was at Johnny Buchik or something like that, his first upgrade, which was only a +1 from the which is fucking insane, from the first overall value. And I don't even know what those numbers, what was it, an 85 to an 86? Was that what the fuck it was? That required a carbon collectible. Like, that's just, oh god, in mid-August, that's like nails on a chalkboard. That hurts my head so much to think that people did that. That's insane. But whichever one we looked at, whoever it was we looked at, I don't remember right now. When I went into the legend thing real quick to get the carbon prices, the very first of the 3-step process of turning it into a legend required the base alumni and 1 carbon collectible. Now you compare that to someone who might require, say, like 7 gold collectibles and their base to go that +1 from tier 1 to tier 2, and you might think it doesn't seem to be that drastically different. I mean, it's 70%, so it's less, generally speaking, but they're both kind of nutty. But either way, they're different legends that typically would both start on tier 1 and finish on tier 3 as a legend on either exactly the same or very close in terms of their overall ratings, would tend to be somewhat similar in terms of how many collectibles would be required for each of the tiers all the way up to legend, and very few in that process did not require at least 1 carbon in that upgrade process, and I did like all of those, which is why I have 23 at the moment, and halfway to getting either one of the 2 actually good legends. so it's like never gonna happen, unless after everyone moves on to 20, they come back in here and start selling gold collectibles for the minimum 50 coins with 100 coin buy now, and even then, I think you still need like fucking 100 of them. So that's some noise outside. It's like 100k minimum. So it's going to be more than that. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to do that. I don't think. I can't see that happening. But either way, if you wanted to do it this way, by trading in 5 gold rare players, once you start to realize that gold rare players are fucking useless, and if you're doing the gold rare rerolls, you can get a lot of gold rare players that are 80, 81, 82, maybe a max of 83, and aren't going to help your team past, say, like the 3rd week of the game. And so you might want to come back in here since they're untradeable and you're not going to use them. And because they're untradeable, their quick sell value is exactly 0. And you might think, well, I'll just take 5 of them here and get a gold collectible, and then I'll get enough gold collectibles to turn in some carbons, and I'll start to do the legend upgrade process. Fine. But whereas like most of the player upgrade cooldowns, as you see, if I talk for another 46 minutes, I can do some sets. While these have much shorter cooldowns, the 2 for 1 gold rare is 8 hours or just shy of that, and I think the gold common to gold rare is either the same or very close, and then they go down in duration from there, like to silver is much less. I don't know. It might be as low as like 3 or 4 hours that you have to wait for that cooldown. But they still have those cooldowns. I just wanted to show that real quick so I could jump back into here and show how I'm not going to do this, but if I did this one, it's been so long, but I've done it at least once. I'm pretty sure that it has a full day, like a full like 24-hour cooldown. So if you wanted to try to from day one, like I guess we'll assume 20 is going to have some characteristics that are going to be somewhat similar to this, or they're going to be exactly the same, which would be kind of weird. If you went back 11 months ago and started this process, and you're like, okay, I'm not like I'll buy as many as I need to in the auction house just to speed up the process. But I'm going to create my gold collectibles by trading in these gold rares that aren't going to have any value, that are already untradeable anyways, and I'm going to create these gold collectibles that way. And then any carbons that I need, I'm going to create those as opposed to buying them or trying to catch them in packs, because that's not really a thing. And I'm going to trade in 10 gold collectibles to create my carbons, and I'm going to eventually have all of the legends, including the 99 Lemieux, Mario Lemieux, and Wayne Gretzky. That would take fucking forever. If you got to wait a day to get every single one of your gold collectibles, if you're not picking up gold collectibles in other fashions, those actually were in packs, whereas I don't recall carbons ever being in packs. But I'm sure I can find a video of someone on YouTube who pulled one. But the gold, the other ones, the bronze, silver, and gold have been in packs, typically more the special packs and not just like the gold or lower packs. So you could pull some of those if you're ripping packs or getting packs through gameplay or whatever, and you could supplement that by buying in the auction house, in the marketplace. But outside of like just pure coining, buying coins and or ripping the maximum number of packs that they allow you to do at the start of the season, the people who were selling, and they were almost always selling the Gretzky. It was like as if they had done both and decided they wanted to play and keep the Lemieux but wanted to sell the Gretzky. But selling Gretzky, initially trying to get the max in this game, which is 10 million coins, um, and then like sometimes backing down to only like 7.5 or 5 million. It eventually went to 2.5, and even now it's still most are still looking for like 1 million on it. Um, but those are you can ask any price you want. I haven't seen them actually sold for that amount uh, anytime recently because there's so many other 99s in the game. Um, Even if they don't have 99 in every single stat category. But anyways, moving on. If you wanted to do the legend upgrade process by only trading in 5 gold rares for 1 gold collectible every single day, um, Jesus Christ. I mean, there's 90 upgrade processes. Jesus. I was going to say, would assume it's 5 per on average, 5 golds, but it's probably there's so many carbons. It's got to be at least more like 7 or 8 gold, even with the low end ones thrown in there too. Um, I mean, fuck it. Let's just use like completely rounded out numbers. And let's say it's on average those 90 steps for the upgrade process across the board. Let's say it's 1 carbon collectible on average. Since some require like what's the max? Like the coffee in the whole ones are like 4 or 5 carbons. It's at least 3 for sure. I know that. That's just the third step alone. So let's say it's 1 per, right? So again, you need 10 gold to get the 1 carbon, and you can only create 1 gold per day. So you can only get a carbon once every 10 days, and you got to create 90 of these fucking things. That, oh my god, it hurts my head, man. But that's 900 fucking days. 900 fucking days. It's not as much as, but it's practically 3 fucking years. Like, that is insane. That's what's built into this game for cards that they're now just giving away. If you have enough draft collectibles, I wanted to show the derivation of those, but I've been talking too long about this one, I guess. And yeah, or you can just buy them, like, because like Legends, like Trevor Linden, 89 overall, pretty decent card to have beginning of the year, and then people started talking shit about him, and then nobody wanted him anymore. But for sure, probably sold for like, I don't fucking know, like 100K. I mean, at least like 75, I would assume, early on. And right now, I have one on offer for his quick sell price of 1,000 coins. Or maybe because he's a legend, it goes for more. Maybe he quick sells for like 2,500. But whether it's 1,000 or 2,500, I think someone has an offer on at 2,500. I think I'm just gonna like wait and see what happens with it. Because I think it would actually be kind of funny that in mid-August I gave it 3 full days with no buy now, and only get 1,000 coins out of a legend that's an 89 and has top end speed and a pretty decent shot, and is a forward and not a defender who can't like shoot or do anything other than try to hit people and clearly can't because they're too slow, and yeah, they're playing against superior players, so they can't even like take them off the puck or try to do anything to disrupt their play. Moving on, clearly that's not the answer. You don't want to do this trade-in alone to try to complete the legend process. I did not do that math previously, but that I also used an estimation of an average of 1 carbon collectible for all of the 90, and it's probably a bit less than that. But fuck it, man. Like, say it's a third as much. That's still a year, and we're about a year in at this point. The other part of that issue would be if you did that. That's jeez. That's 90 times 5, so that's 450. You would have to trade in 450 or more gold rare players in this process once, 5 at a time, once per day, in order to do that. And that is absurd, but the reality is I've probably done somewhat close to that with these two re-rolls here. And soon after getting the Sakic back in January, February. Unfortunately, I can't verify that date for you at the moment because I've upgraded him to a 99, and so it does not show his original Legend card in my collection, which makes sense because I don't technically own that card anymore. And I can go check, but I would assume it would stand to reason that the upgraded version date issued would show whenever I upgraded it to the Legend, which was this month, obviously, was when that was available. Wait, no. Oh, it's that I noticed it last month. I don't know, whatever. Within the last month, I did it. So now I kind of feel like going and getting that date, but I'm not going to. It doesn't matter. Okay, can I? How long have we been doing this for? Oops, wrong one. Not even an hour and a half yet. Man, when I finally talk about what game I'm going to play tomorrow, did I mention it already? I know I said I was going to play a game. I just don't know if I said which one it was going to be. Hour and a half that's nothing for me. Marathon sessions are measured in days, not minutes or hours. Okay, so can we do a real quick, hopefully, derivative value on this? And this one gets screwy as well, and I will try to very briefly talk about why that is and why that has been the case all year. Okay, so I mean, gold commons are even like more fucked up than anything else, but browns are pretty fucked up. Only 5,000 gold rares. There's an 86 Doug Gilmour. Why was I thinking that is an upgrade? I don't think it could be. I feel like he's an 85. There's that 93 Curry I was talking about. Currently going for. I'm gonna drop that onto a watch list. I want to see if that actually goes through. If this person pulls their bid, which they could or could not do, even if the Flurry wanted 250 at a minimum, hoping for 275. It did not sell. All right, that ended. Oop, jeez. Okay. Thanks. I saw this. I think I saw this card or something like this card recently somewhere, and I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. It's just an okay card. Yeah, 70K. It's about right. I wouldn't pay that much for it, but I can understand that. How much is a 92 Petrangelo? Also 64. Interesting. Is he any better? Obviously less synergies, and not really better. Slower, shots about the same. Here we go, the 99 from a defender with burner, call the shot, speedster, and probably heavy hitter. There's a couple different HHs in the game. Yep, max speed. Endurance also 96, pretty solid. Man, why do they do that? Wrist shot power of 96 instead of 99. And then has better accuracy on the wrist shot than the slap shot, which has a slap shot power of 99. Again, these are defenders, but they gotta play on offense if you want to make the team. Decent size, decent body, 6'2", 210. The rest of the stats pretty solid. This is a Stanley Cup playoffs version of the card. And I don't recall pressing over, but okay. So yeah, they went 175. It's a 99, but still, that's absurd. That's way too high. I think that this was one of the cards that Thrash was talking about in his Hut Warriors team. Well, I mean that's max speed and max power on the shot. Really bad accuracy, but it's a defender. So that was part of that group of Hut Diamond defenders that came out pretty solid. At 140K was the desired amount for the 96 Team of the Week, Patrice Bergeron. It's kind of strange because it's like I actually did a gold rare reroll for and got a Team of the Week Patrice Bergeron, his initial upgrade. So it's an 80. It was either the initial or the second one. It was like an 86 overall, or I don't know if he's got not. Yeah, you don't. If it's 96 here, he's not an odd number. I was gonna say it could be like 85 or 87. I don't know. But yeah, it was an 86. So minus 10 from this, and I actually liked it a good portion of the game. I can't show you through this card because this one's got a 99 in faceoffs, but I actually played a lot with that card over the course of the season because generally I was gonna use what's his fucking name? There was an awesome center that was on the screen a second ago. I was gonna use him as an example. Like Carlson's base card is 72. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying the guy should be good at faceoffs. Jack Eichel I don't think is worse, but they do 69. You know, the centers they were fuck all. They were terrible at faceoffs. Whereas like here's the base. I was right. Doug Gilmour's base is 85, not 86. So the 86 was a +1. You know, the base Gilmour in contrast was giving you an 85 and came with Faceoff Master for an extra +2 when activated for an 87. I didn't do like a whole series the way that No Sleeves 12 did as far as like starter squads or whatever, but I definitely do feel like the Alumni Gilmour or any of the upgrades were definitely worth having on a starter squad just simply for faceoffs. You know, you look at Johnny Tappan Tavares, 74 and faceoff master synergy, just, you know, it's not quite as good. And Drew, same thing. You know, Drew's 85 base was an 81, so it's better clearly, but doesn't come with the synergy. And you know, he only went plus 14 from there. So here's Bergeron. His base was an 87. So that 86 that I had was an 89, and I think it had I'm like 95% positive that the Team of the Week 86 had Face-Off Master Synergy. So instead of being 89, it was actually a 91. So he definitely worked his ass off for my team during the early portions of the year. If we get back to an actual point though, I'm seeing a lot around 4K, but a lot of those are 84s and 83s. 81, which, you know, if it matters to you, has a quick sell of 1,000. Is trying to get 2,500 for Krejci. And then you look at like Buffalo, and they're trying to get 48, 45. Man, nobody wants the Evo Seth Jones. Like literally, not a single person does. There are some interesting prices late night. The Hurdle has a quick sell of only 500, and they want 1,300. So I think that's a bit more realistic. Unfortunately, none of these are really good as far as derivative value. You know, you could say like, what would it be worth to have 2 of these to trade in for another one? Part of the reason why I've been doing these trade-ins a lot more recently months after getting the Sakic, um, which was my justification for why I was doing it, and also because this fake channel shifted kind of post Halloween to trying to focus on building a team exclusively with untradeable cards, and so it just kind of made a ton of sense. Not for me to like waste anything with super high value, which at that time was uh, 86 and above. Um, but basically turning in everything else just for trade-ins to try to get these two, the gold common and 5-1, and the gold rare 2-for-1, into better gold rares, and I got shit pulls basically on these. They were pretty atrocious most of the year. I had a what I guess became a confirmation bias to the positive, thinking that they were great because it was fun to get a good pull. Like a good pull early on was that Team of the Week 86 Patrice Bergeron. Um, and he definitely logged enough games, enough minutes for me that it was a good card. It's untradeable and it's got no value for me now. But I, other than nostalgia, which is weird for a game that only lasts a year. Um, but yeah, and then I basically stopped doing it because they had been shit when I actually went back and looked at the data and all of the broadcasts that I did, most of which without a mic in, just to like I just come in here and rip the set and show what the outcome was, and usually it'd be pretty terrible, and so I just like end the broadcast immediately. So there's a lot of like 2-minute broadcasts on this channel of me doing that, and like I'll just save you like spoiler alert, like they were 80s, 81s, 82s, and like occasionally like a Phil Kessel base 83 overall gold rare. But lately, I'm not saying they're always good, um, but I had to increase my max. I had already received 97. I'd received 93s for free agents. I had previously had my record was a 94 diamond. Robert Leno, who's still on my team. I mean, he's I think he's blue line D at the moment. It's just how it works out. It's so many offensive juggernauts on the team at this point. But yeah, he's still playing for me. Still making somewhat of a difference as long as I'm not trying to beat the fucking Capitals on Superstar or whatever. But in like normal games, he's a person that tends to feel better, stand out a little bit better for me than like average. But his synergy and stats and attributes don't really justify him getting a higher line or more spots on special teams, although he does have some special teams spots and was even in the top 5, because you only get to pick 5 for shootouts for quite a while. But I think he's been knocked out of that because I've got just guys with just massive shots at this point that also happen to have pretty solid accuracy as well. So it's he and like yeah. You outside of that, you could maybe have like speed or puck handling and deking and shit like that could make a difference, but it's whatever. If you get into a shootout in an offline versus CPU game, I'm not really sure how much your puck handling skills or attributes for your player card need to play a role in whatever the fuck you're doing. So these have turned out to be pretty good. Chucha. I can't say his first fucking name. Kyra. I have Kyra, and I had JT Comfer. I also ripped Justin Kloos, and it's Van Bartalis. All free agency cards, all 93 and up. The max was 97. And just like really good. And until recently, like the JT Comfer was still like my front line left winger, as he's a almost all the cards are centers, but you know, when you like whatever, like even if they're like normally a right winger, my general play style, because again I'm playing against the computer, so I don't need to like worry about like second level strats coming from human opponents. My general play style turned into and has basically stayed the same for a while now of inversion on with the forwards and the defenders. I switched the defenders thing after a little while of trying that out differently, and I like it. I like the way it is. So inversion on both sides. So if you don't know what that means right-handed shots on the left side and left-handed shots on the right side, regardless of what their natural positions are supposed to be, and still a willingness or desire, or whatever you want to call it, to put forwards on defense over defenders, assuming that they're better than the defenders in terms of at least speed and shot. And depending upon what it is that I'm trying to do, if it's just simply trying to, if the only objective is to win the game to get 2,000 or 2,250 coins, then that's all I really care about, and so I'm not going to focus on like how many hits I'm going to get and how many shots on goal or anything like that. I've already completed the event. That's got another 7 days for anybody that sees this tomorrow and hasn't completed that. I will have moved on to my next game, so I won't be there to assist with you in that. Yeah, I've already completed that, so I don't need any more like blocked shots or shots on goal or goals scored or anything like that. As far as cumulative, and I've got all of the milestones completed outside of Horton and Sawchuck, and I'm never going to get those done, so I don't give a shit anymore, and I'm not even bothering to play in online seasons, so it is what it is. So what? Oh, well, I ripped the 99 overall free agency. How do you say his first name? Essa Lindell. Told a little brief story. It's attached to this name on YouTube, so you can go see it on Thrash's channel, because he just has massive pull after massive pull. And he's doing it in like actual packs, so he gets to sell the things for coins. It's like so jealous. But he even with what he was given from, you take the combination of what he was given from EA as a game changer, in combination with potentially like looking at like revenue from Twitch and YouTube mostly, and other things. He sells merch too. So even with all of that, if it was like self-sustaining, I guess you'd say, still basically spent a fuckload, like, and ripped a ton of packs. I don't think that he was part of the group that ripped an insane amount all at once, like together, and like shared on each other's channels. There was a group of like 3 or 4 of them that did that. It was, go watch, it's funny, but spoiler alert, like they got nothing. Like they ripped like hundreds of packs, and I don't think they got anything above a 90, and that wasn't recent, so there were less high-end cards at the time, but still, like, all they wanted was like base gold rare Ovies at 87 overall, or 86, and they wasn't happening. I said 87 because I was thinking of Crosby and McDavid. Keep doing this and I keep drinking. Might not be able to get over to pick up my copy of my next game. Since ding again? No, just the one. All right. Since in 6 minutes it'll be weed smoking time here in the area, which I've already said. I'm in Chicago. We have. I don't mean to make this political, but I mean the way these things occur is generally political. So, not making any sort of political statements, but it's impossible to not mention the political aspect of it. So, here in Chicago, but not just specifically the metropolitan Chicagoland area, but the state of Illinois, you're actually the first state of 50 that has statewide legalized, not just decriminalized, but legalized recreational use of marijuana. We were previously a medicinal state, and it was mostly a pain in the ass to try to get that through, which might have been a factor in the recreational stuff, but thinking about the politics involved, seemed like the green that they were focusing on was not the color of the plant. So the first state in the union, basically going back to the push that started in the 20s of trying to criminalize marijuana and its related things, CBDs and etc. First state in the union since the war on and it going illegal to go ahead and fully legalize recreational use through the legislature as opposed to through a vote, popular vote, or a ballot referendum. So, for people that don't give a shit about any of that stuff, they'd be like, whatever. But it's kind of important, and unless it doesn't go well, unless it goes to shit, should probably assist remaining states in the union that have not made that push yet, and also at the same time put a bit of pressure federally, because that's kind of the real deal at this point, since it's legal in some form or fashion in approximately half of the states or more in the union. So we've passed the law, so it's been legalized, but it doesn't become legal for use until next calendar year, so January 2020. But it doesn't really become a thing until almost this time next year, so summer of 2020. The various businesses that would be involved, dispensaries, etc., they are supposed to be currently in the process of establishing all that for themselves to be registered, etc. And they will, if I understand, I forgot about the specifics because I was just like, all right, fuck it, it'll be fine in a year, and we'll see what's up then. But the notion was that starting in January was when it was open to to basically, getting a fully registered dispensary or upstream, downstream, whatever involved in the industry, kind of like the medallions that would be sold in major metropolitan areas, including taxis, when taxis still existed and you assholes weren't all using Uber and Lyft. Um, I'm just trying really hard to not make a comment on the the absolute dump that Uber took last week after their earnings announcement, having come about a week or less after Lyft had come out with good um, earnings info, and they both took a dive that day. Like Lyft was hurt by the fact that Uber fucking shit the bed. It was kind of crazy. So I guess I did go off on a little tangent there, but we'll move on. So anyway, the point being, like, it's like basically like the gold medallions were for the taxi cabs. Like, you pay like this exorbitant fee to get like registered, and then you can like try to start up business and hope to try to make that money back. And lots of stories out there of people who are like 30 years later still trying to make their money back. And then there also became a thing where like you could like sell it to somebody else, and or if like you died or whatever, like your widow could try to sell it in the open market, and that was the whole thing. That was really more New York than Chicago, but it was still a thing here. And so it's kind of like that. Like starting in January is when those are supposed to be starting the process of handing those out to those that have been approved or whatever, I guess. But they can't actually start doing any business until again about this time. Like about the very first time would be like June 1st, 2020. And I know people are eager, but it would be kind of surprising to see like a whole bunch of spots that are just like ready to like do business day one, like June 1st, 2020. I wouldn't be mad at them if they were, but they would just be kind of surprising if that actually happened. So I think like by this time next year, there'd be enough around and open and working and not having problems in which at least some people who may be currently either still purchasing recreationally illegally because it's on the books but it hasn't taken effect yet, or somehow involved in the medicinal side of it still, which could be legal for them. I don't know, or whatever. I haven't touched the stuff since like I really should say a few times in college, and one time with the college group, like I think a couple, like maybe 3 at most years after we graduated. Well, I didn't graduate with them at that school, but yeah, like one time after, and every single time I was completely fucking hammered. So I feel like I owe it to myself, to my former self that had tried this stuff and thought it was fun. I think there was like maybe one time where I wasn't fucked up prior to starting the process. I think I don't even know, and that was was weird. It turned into a weird. There's a whole. It's 2 days worth of stories to get to the end of that story. And I don't mean like I mean that like literally like that 2 day period like is just nothing but stories. Like it's basically just like one big story with a bunch of like little stories tossed in there. And we don't have time. But I mean I used it, I guess, of whatever shit was available like generally to us back then. That was like 98 to 2002. That's how fucking old I am. And so I have no idea what was in it, how good it was, whatever. Like I just would imagine that there'd be almost a pure guarantee that whatever would be available to me legally this time next year in my hometown would be at a higher like quality and maybe like I don't know. I was gonna say purity, but I in that as far as I understand this shit, which is very little, I think it would be not so much like the purity, but as just like the lack of impurities, really, more than anything else. Um, and so I would imagine all of that has improved. Um, and so there's definitely a part of me that thinks like, yeah, absolutely, unless it's like an outrageous price, and I've heard it's not in the places where it exists right now. I feel like I gotta try it like at least once and find out what's like an appropriate amount if I like want to limit it to just the one time, um, and probably like do it at a time where there aren't any other factors that are uh, well, I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna drink at least one time. Like even if I choose to drink the first time I do it, um, kind of like regardless of how that goes, if I try it again, I got to make sure there's at least one time where I have nothing to drink, haven't had anything to drink for at least 24 hours prior, and I just try to just go straight up um, with like just the weed and see how it goes. I'm gonna be back in about 3 minutes, and we're gonna do some sets. I assume I have cards for these. I have no idea. We'll find out in just 8 minutes. I'll be back in about four. Alrighty, kids. What are we, 2 hours into this shit? Try to plan my day while not entirely sober. Not a good idea. Um, I was just, so, because I got 2 minutes, I guess, until we can find out if I can do some rerolls. Um, and I got like nothing that's worth doing here for anything more than that. I don't even, I wouldn't even buy a mini. I've had such bad luck with them. I haven't really done a lot of the premiums for this round. I thought they were perfectly fine for other events like the Evos, but clearly like the extremes are the best, and it's not even, again, backing into like a would-be derivative. It's like it's 20K for a mini, it's 40K. Should we just go to the fucking store? There we go. So 20K for a mini, it's 10 with 5. 40K for premium, it's 12 with 7. Maybe that's part of the reason why it's not as good value. And then twice that, 80K for the extreme. Not quite twice the amount of items, but slightly better than twice the number of player items. And the whole guaranteed NHL player item thing, it's like, I don't see how much that makes a difference for free agency, considering that tons of great players are not in the NHL on the free agency cards, because they gave boosts to people from like, there's people who have bronze cards who have fucking phenomenal free agency cards. But point being, like, if I really went out of my way, I think I could probably rustle. I mean, maybe not, but I feel like I could probably rustle up an extra 10K in coins to be able to rip a premium free agency pack. I just don't think it's worth it, honestly. If I had a free one, which I tried to get in the competitive season, and that didn't work. When you lose all 3 of your games, you're lucky. I'm hoping when they in another, well, it was 14 hours, so now it's at least 12 times it. Yeah, so 11 hours and 30 minutes from now, when they finish processing their results, I'm hoping for this right here, this mini free agency pack, along with this here, a gold pack. And here are the probabilities, in case I decide I don't feel like broadcasting that tomorrow. Yeah, you give me any of these, mini or premium, for free, I'll rip it. And if you give it to me as part of like an event where they're untradeable cards, I don't really care, that's fine. It's mostly about the collectibles anyways, and so it doesn't really matter if those are tradable or not. If assuming you're going to use them. If you're not going to use them, then yeah, you want to be able to sell them. But I would, if I had 80K coins, I'd make more poor decisions. I'd rip an extreme. But considering I have 30 right now, and I'm like about to do sets because I got nothing of value to do. Like if we look at the objectives and milestones tab for the dailies, obviously you don't make much in dailies. I already got the 500 from shots on goal and 200 from completing sets. That's 700. That's the bulk of what you get here. There's an additional 750 on the remaining 3. I need to score 2 more goals, have 5 more hits, and buy 3 more items from the auction house. And then I will get those 750 coins and another August monthly collectible. Progression, I'm fucked. I can't win online or competitive seasons. I've only won 40 all year. 12 of those have happened since I got this progression level, and that included taking 350 shots on goal, which took a while, and I think was worth 800. I mean, I think wasn't worth 8,750 coins, but I mean, it was like, they definitely I definitely deserved being given that amount or more from having done that. I don't give a shit that people are able to rip through these things supposedly in 10 days before the game launches. No sleeves 12, but whatever. As I said, milestones are all done as of today. We finally got the daily reward packs. That doesn't tell you what it is anymore, but that was Chelly, and he's not doing any good on my team. I'm never going to get Sawchuck. I'm never going to get Horton. So it's all kind of pointless. So it'd be kind of difficult, I think, for me to say I could maybe find a way to like finagle an extra 10K to be able to rip a premium. I could maybe see that happening. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Especially because I think part of that would require me selling something of good value and having someone like I'd have to sell it at a specific price and have someone be up right now and have the coins and want the card and pay me. None of that seems like it would be super likely, and it'd also be a 33% increase in my current coin stack or my bankroll. So it seems unlikely, and then to take that and then double it again to 80, I don't. It's not gonna happen. So let's see if we can do any sets at all to see if there's anything worth doing here. Normally I front load these so I know what to expect, but let's just see, I guess. Cool. So four untradables. I don't know. I just hit R3 for some reason. Well, that's a problem. Those are going to be fucking expensive if I try to buy any of those. My 30K is going to go down the shitter so fast. I should just do this one. I don't need Koivu or Johnson untradable. And I think Johnson is actually what I got from doing this set earlier today. Let's see, if this isn't an outrageous price, this is how I get myself in trouble. If this is not an a totally unreasonable price, I can maybe do this. But I need to not buy 5 gold commons, like, that's absurd. Good prices, I like it. Late night, not a lot of people up. Fan. Get down to 2. Get down to 2. Hell yeah. We can buy 1. Now, this is what I do. Although 70 is kind of high. But and this just dropped in the last 3 minutes. But just because I'm gonna waste this card. It's not gonna exist in the game anymore. Like this one specific card. Whichever of these 9 I opt to choose. I'll click again just to make sure they're all there. So when I came back to the game a couple months ago, I kind of had like this new view as it relates to the auction market and other players in the game and stuff like that. And I just felt like, okay, if somebody wants to actually have any of these to use, I would prefer, if I'm paying the exact same price anyways, I'm just going to get rid of the card, I'd prefer to remove lower rated cards, or if I felt like going through the effort to see like who's got, good stats or synergies or whatever, I could maybe do that or whatever. But currently I basically just do it so like that there's always going to be these ones after I make, all these are for 12 hours. So other than this first one, which is the one I'm going to choose, they're all, doesn't matter, like there's going to be a bunch up for 12 hours until somebody else comes in here and spends 200 coins, and I'm absolutely not waiting an hour to try to save 50 coins. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy this one, and I don't know if that was clear as to what I was trying to say, was that I try to like go out of my way, if I can, to try to take like the least important one from Oh, fuck me. I think I have some of these. That's where I'm going to get the gold comments. I've got some of these in my inbox. That was really stupid of me to do. But because they're in the inbox, that means they're probably. We'll find out. Because some. I think there's. I think I opened an event pack and then just left them in the inbox. So I might get lucky. I might have some untradeable ones in there. And then if I open up that pack, that will be an untradeable gold comment. But let's go into the inbox here for a second. These are ones that I was planning to sell for the minimum. These are 500 on the quick sell, so I was just going to drop them on the marketplace for a 500 starting price with no buy now for 3 days and just see what happens. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 5. So I'm gonna go and open the untradeable one because they're all the same shit to me, honestly. I don't care about legit any of them. So I'm gonna be able to get two re-rolls for you. Gonna be pulling from my inbox to do that, and I've kind of been enjoying this whole max inbox thing, but I guess we're gonna shy away from that for a second. And would any of these? I mean, like none of them would really go for more than standard value, right? I don't know why they would. But you know, just to be fun, let's get rid of two Santinis at the same time, right? Taidomi didn't sell. Oh, that's all of them. Shit. All right. So do Ryan? We want Ryan Callahan, or we want Nosek? Fuck it. Spend 2 hours. You gotta have something of value to be able to show to the kids, right? And we'll rip both the packs together, even though like the way I've done this in the past would be like to rip the first one just because it's, you know, happens very often that it's going to be an 80, and so technically that 80 would be even less value than the Koivu, but like I'm never using the Koivu. My team's a 97 overall, an 81 who is got okay speed and a shit shot and terrible at face-offs is not exactly high on my list of priorities. So we're going to go ahead and rip both of these at the same time. See if we can get something decent here. How far along in are we? Yeah, 2 hours 15 minutes. I know it's 12 currently, but it'll be 15 by the time I at least get through these. I was trying to plan my day and figure out, because it's getting kind of late and I'm getting kind of drinky, of whether I should just like be able to like try to like stay up and like just be up for the day and go get this new game for me, not new game for the world. So I'm just gonna mention that now, but that is MLB The Show 19. I have been waiting since fucking March, and that was my bad on doing what I don't have to pay for it, so that's nice. But that I should have just bought the fucking game. I had received basically free versions of like I'm looking at a copy of, I'm not trying to shit on EA, it just happens to be what I have. I'm looking at a copy of NBA Live 19. That's my second iteration of a free copy of that game, and I have not put it into my system since getting this second copy, and I probably need to um, uh, return to sender sometime soon. As far as baseball games, I also have RBI Baseball 17. I guess if there's an 18 or a 19, they weren't available yet. And that game, I played it once. I played one game, like one full baseball game of baseball with that. It is historically um, probably my favorite video game console game of all time. Uh, but that's with like a ton of not revisionist history, but certainly like nostalgia and historical bias. Because the 2017 version, I was fucking bored out of my mind. Hitting home runs in it wasn't even like that much fun, and that was like the fun of the original game. Um, that was just it. It was just like, and you didn't have to like catch it pure. You just had to be like kind of on point, and it would go like sometimes like the best part, especially if you're playing against somebody else, was hitting the home run so far that like it went it went when it was showing the flight of the ball, you like would lose like the stadium wouldn't even be shown anymore on the screen because it was like so far. So in other words, kind of like current this year's MLB games with their juiced balls. But RBI baseball in its current iteration, I haven't seen a 2018 or 2019 version. I think they're out there. They're not in the system for me to be able to take, and they probably cost like $5, but I'm not gonna buy them. I played 17, and like people make jokes about sports sims, coming out with a new version every year and being basically nothing but a roster update, but literally that game, that's all it is. It's just a roster update. There's probably some like slight adjustments to gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, but I mean I set it to classic on everything that I could, because that's why I was playing. I wanted to play something that was similar to the original, and it was almost like entirely like the classic version. So I don't know what gameplay stuff would have to get changed from that, even over like 30 years, let alone every year. So it felt like to me like the game was nothing but a roster update, and because it was new to me and my system when I got it and finally put it in sometime in the last week or two, it did an update before it loaded and stuff like that, and then it did a roster update after it had loaded and I was in game. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to see current version of the team, but it was not, because there's at least one player that definitely stuck out to me who I was like, that he hasn't been on the team in a minute, so this is not up to date. So I have for the show, I think, I don't know, I felt like I had a version of 18 sometime within the last 9 months that I was able to play, but I definitely had 17. So I don't know what it was about 2017 versions of baseball games, but they were readily available. It didn't feel like just a roster update to me, but it was just like way too involved. However, I do think that I'm going to go grab my copy tomorrow, because otherwise it'll sit there over the course of the weekend, because I'm not going to go on the weekend to get it. And that'll give me something to do probably for like at least the weekend while I'm like not trying to log into this game and see that there's nothing to do, and that I can just sit here and talk to myself for 2.5 hours about literally nothing. So doing something in MLB The Show would be more productive technically, but not really, because they're both video games and I'm an adult. So I was thinking of doing that, and like I was like, well, it's getting late, so therefore it's getting early, so maybe I could like stay up, and so like I was just like checking, and I'm like, oh, cool, like I can go, um, you know, in about an hour or so, um, and then I was like, wait, hold on, like they're not open yet. They're not open for another 3 hours after that, so. Um, Yeah, so my dumbass is just gonna have to like go to sleep, and if I get, I'm just gonna like, I'm not gonna, I hope something is halfway decent in here. We gotta do it for the stream, for everyone that's in the room at the moment, which is just me. I did just open up a new one, and I only have one more left now, and they're not gonna sell any more to me at the moment. Um, and if I do get the show, because I will next week if I don't get it today. Um, my thing with that is just kind of ensuring that I don't waste any money, because I'm sure the game is, if not dead, it's way beyond launch um, levels, just across the board, which means that there might be some good value for me as a new player. Um, but I mean, the version that I played again, I think it was 17, and I got super into the the ones that were just before that were available on PS3, but were like scaled down in some way. But like to be able to spend an entire year playing almost exclusively that on an old shitty system with an old shitty TV, that was like, I don't know, so that was fun for me. I felt like there was a lot of replay playability with that, with those older versions of the game. Now that they're doing these fucking like collection um, um, programs and playbooks and whatever the fuck, it's just, I don't, it's, I wish that that wasn't going on. And when I play it finally, after waiting so long and knowing that I could basically buy a version myself right now for like $5, and just all it would take with the amount of time that it would download from the PlayStation Store and then upload on my system and whatever, I could just, assuming it doesn't turn itself off, I could just like go to sleep right now and wake up in 8 hours and be able to play. Um, yeah, I just hope it doesn't really suck major balls in terms of that whole thing of like trying to put together things. Because playing old versions of the show well after they were out, it was like the programs. It must have been 18 that I was playing, because a couple of the programs were still active, but a bunch were like gone. Like I couldn't even see like what it was that supposedly like was part of the process um, of creating the old ones or whatever. They weren't available to me. It was just like, what the fuck is the point of this? Like, why can't I go and get that thing? And for anybody that's not into that and is just only about this with NHL, it basically would be like whatever the fuck that shit was, where you could turn in the Mike Smith and the Gabriel Bork and the other like 76, I think, overall rated, maybe up to 78 overall rated gold commons this year for like a week, and get like fucking awesome uh, uh, like rewards for doing so, which caused those cards that were going for like 200 coins the day before suddenly like going for like 200,000 coins or whatever. And I got that shit saved in my watch list, so I'll be able to remember in the future. But I also recorded all that too, so it's all stored on my system. But it was super, super clear that like if there wasn't a leak, or if there weren't people that were somehow getting info, that like they knew they like every single version of those cards that were available like were just vanished prior to the server reset. Um, and then and then and then some more were put on after the server reset at the then like 100x value that they were going for. So clearly, I'm still a little salty about that because I was not able to do whatever that fucking reward was, and it was probably a card that like I'd have no value for right now, and if it was untradeable, then there'd be no real point in me bitching, other than the fact that I couldn't take advantage of it at that time when it maybe was something that I could have been able to have on my team. Um, and also, I like I, I, I just happen to have because I you can look back and like what you had sold in the previous 7 days if you're not like one of those that's on here just constantly flipping to try to make coins, which I'm not. I thought getting into the game that I would maybe be able to do that, just with my experience in markets and stuff like that, and it's too much really. I just it's and my level of interest and desire is not this isn't real. I mean, like I could spend real dollars, and I have unfortunately, on this game on packs and points to get packs, stuff like that. Um, but it's for me personally. Despite being an adult in age, I'm not an adult in action or responsibility or anything like that. And yet, it's just like I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old at this point, or I'm just like the desire just really just not there. That's all it comes down to. Um, and there's a lot of frustration and uh, a significant portion of this year's version, and I hope it's improved for next year. Probably not, and I'm probably not going to even bother to play. I really hope I don't. um, and at some point, maybe they'll make some changes, but like, there's very little in the game that is dynamically programmed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. I don't feel like fucking explaining it to you. But it's the reason why a lot of shit sucks. Like if you go into the auction house, and if a new bid comes in, it resets. Uh, in this game, I forget if it's 20 or 30 seconds because I get it confused with FIFA and other stuff that are basically about the same. I think I don't even know. So it's one of the two. It's 20 or 30. I think it's 20, and you could be sitting there and like the timer runs out. I showed the one card, the Patrice Bergeron 96 team of the week in the auction house. I showed that showed it was expired. I don't think that there were any bids on it. And then I think I also showed one that had a bid on it and showed it as expired. Um, so you could be like looking at that screen and it says ended. It says ended. You're like, it's okay, it's done. I'm gonna go click out of here, go into my inbox, wherever the fuck the card is, and go see about adding the card to my team. And you're like, where's the card? Why is it not on my team? It's not until you like click out of like 6 different fucking screens that all of a sudden you get an influx of coins back into your account in the exact amount that you'd had for the bid for the card. And it's like, the fuck? It's the opposite of dynamically programmed, and it's horrendous. So, let's take a drink and pour one out for my homies and see if we have something of value here, because I don't think that making you wait 26 minutes for another daily reward pack is anything. I could play a game, I guess, versus Superstar, just so that you could see how much I can't beat good CPU opponents, or I can just rip 2 pure 99 free agency cards right now on these gold rare player packs and take them onto my team and destroy all enemies. 4 hours until my location opens. and less than an hour that would take me to get there. So yeah, who knows? All right, let's rip some packs. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on a second. Ah. Shit. All right, be right back. Hey there, I'm back. God damn. Um, yeah, so there's like oh, my voice sounds fucking different. Um, there's a problem with my filter on my AC unit. Well, I probably problems with things other than just the filter, and even the filter itself has probably like multiple different like problems or whatever. But long story short, I'm not really getting pure air in here, but it's too fucking hot. Like at the moment, it's not super hot. It's 66 supposedly outside, but uh, I'm warm blooded, which definitely helps when you're out on the street in the depths of winter in Chicago. Because even then uh, tend to get fucking cold as shit. But wait, hold on. If I'm I'm wait, hold on. I think I had this backwards. Shows that I don't know shit about science or how the human body works. um, if I was cold-blooded, then I wouldn't get cold. I'd get hot. Yeah, so I think that's what I am, but at the same time, I feel like I just don't really do well with the extremes. But I definitely don't do well in heat, get heat strokes, and uh, heat-induced, various heat-induced trauma and shit like that. It's just not good. Um, so as much as I might like to attempt to see if I could get some potentially slightly more fresh air in the spot that I'm in right now, because I have it in other parts of residence. Um, it's still, even at 66 degrees with the humidity and shit that we got here in mid-August. It's still just too hot. And also, I didn't really like sit down right now with the expectation of like being here for 4 hours um, before calling it a night and actually going to bed. Um, so I felt like the AC unit needed to be on, and it just kind of catches me at times. So I end up having to go take care of that, and occasionally have to rip like an allergy pill or something like that. So I just tried to make that fun, that whole process, and it kind of wasn't. Um, Highly overrated. Uh, but I have a deviated septum. Uh, Not like a horrific one, like the kind that cokeheads have, because uh, I've done 2 bumps of that in my life ever, and um, not for a very long time. Although it sounds like I in like the process of doing some right now, and that'd be fun, but I'm not. Uh, so the deviated septum did not come from that. Obviously, that would be fucking ludicrous. You do like 2 of the tiniest bumps, not even at different times, different years, I think, over the course of 4 decades. Um, Jesus Christ. It feels so not pleasant. Um, no, unfortunately, or fortunate. Like if you're gonna have one, I guess it's more fortunate to get it any other way that isn't gonna cause more damage from you continuing to do the thing that you have no control over because it's so fucking addicting. No, I broke my nose playing sports in high school. Uh, yeah, and it's a funny story for everyone else that was present, other than me. this thing all go fuck themselves. Gotta love teammates, fucking pricks. Um, so yeah, it's broke. It was broken. Like it's not currently broken. It was broken. It didn't get like set or anything. I don't know what the fuck happened. Um, but it if I understand it correctly how this works, and I don't, I think it deviated the septum at that time, and then it's progression. It gets worse as time as time goes on. So it's not that much fun. All right, I'm gonna rip the packs. Let's just see. I didn't even get anything for the dailies on the packs. I only bought one item from the auction house. That makes sense. And I didn't play, so I didn't score any goals or get those other 5 hits. And the August monthly. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can still do. I get to do one more of the extreme ones, but I only got one at the moment. I'll have a second one in 11 minutes. Jesus Christ. So that's I don't know. There's not really much. There's not really much to do other than just open up these 2 gold rare player packs. We'll see if we can get something good. Should take my fucking mic off so I can stop hearing me try to sniffle down this allergy pill. I was taking a sip as the fucking card was coming up. I was just like wanting to like be so amazed, even like mid to late August, but I don't know what, by like a 99, that I was gonna like spit it out onto the screen. But no, Shea Theodore does not qualify for such things. Let's just rip the other one. See, we're in the red. Less than 10 minutes until the next daily reward, so I'll at least get that before calling it a night. I don't see how or why that would be worth doing on the broadcast. Can maybe see if I could finish a game in less than 9 minutes on the broadcast, and just stop calling it a broadcast and just rip this back and go to bed. Maybe, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. Give me something good. That was weird. It felt like it was a I must be going crazy. It looked like it was a different color on the whole, like, when it was opening. It wasn't gold. So I was like, it's a gold rare, so it's gonna be a cool card. There's lots of cool John Klingberg cards. That ain't one of them. Fuck, what are you doing? Okay, don't stop going fucking weird. So the game's broken. That's fun. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess I should take my mic off and then just play a game. Can't do that yet, right? That's tomorrow. Okay. Can I get one off? I can't really get one off in 8 minutes, so I guess I'm gonna be a little bit behind on getting the reward unless I decide to kill the game before it finishes. I'll keep Chelios in for this one, so I can talk shit about that as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. There we go. There's a team. The Shy Rockers, for what should be obvious reasons. Oil Kings. Got the logo. Standard, I think, away and home jerseys. I think they had an alternate, and I looked at it once and somebody wanted like 5K for it, and I was like, fuck off, it's not happening. I was like, I guess I could go try to track that down in the next 7 minutes, and then open the rewards pack, but I don't think that'd really be worth it. So I got the standard away and home jerseys. I'd played with other jerseys, like the special fun, like original 8, digital, whatever the fuck, and the other special one that I don't even remember what it was for. And I still have those because they're untradeable. Not all of them. Some of them I traded in for gold packs that gave me nothing. So I should have just kept the fucking jerseys. And as I already mentioned, the arena that I play at home is whatever they call the Edmonton Arena, but all of these games you are away, so we're going to be playing in MSG. I don't know how loud my volume is. Okay, we're good.
Just a little over 4 minutes still showing on the clock this period. Neither goalie has made any mistakes so far. Play is underway. Eddie Olczyk alongside Ray Ferraro downstairs. I'm Mike Emmer. Skates it into the zone. He takes that point.
So the same fucking thing that I was like glad that Subban didn't do. That's Jordan. That's not PK. Was exactly what the other fucking guy did, my right winger. And then I lose the face-off. Buchnevich can sit down. This is my new addition, Alec Hemsky. Oh, what? Thank you. Get out of here. Stop cutting off my, you fucking cunt. What was that? There's like 2 errors in a row. What is going on? What? There we go. Nope. I was like, can I at least get a shot on goal, please? No, I'm just gonna get my ass handed to me. Oh my god. And I actually had the right guy. I took him off. Apparently I just shot a puck backwards on defense. That's fun. What are you doing, man? And my guy misses it. And they're gonna score. It's, oh, what the fuck? It's so fucking stupid. The human CPU is like so retarded that they cannot even qualify to be able to join the armed forces, and they're too low to be able to even New York is so annoying. I'm just gonna click the button. I don't feel like watching it again. Their chants and shit. It's just, I dislike the people generally. I can't win another face-off since the first one apparently. Come on, that was mine. Fuck you. But I fucking hate the owner. Ah, oh, Jesus Christ. Still trying to figure out why I'm keeping Spezza in the third line left winger. I feel like he doesn't deserve to be there. Okay, so I'm on an almost I'm on a delay that is so small that it's almost like unrecognizable to a human, but because this is an aspect of kind of what I do, I feel it. It sucks. It does suck. So I've lost this game. Like I'm not winning 3-2. Maybe in OT, maybe in a shootout, but even that seems highly unlikely. That was not even who I was passing to. This is really only going to turn around if I can get them to give up a bunch of penalties. Oh, fuck me. They won't even let me get the shot off. I guess they got a hit though. And then he gives it away. And it's Chelios, and he gives a tripping penalty, so he's gone for 2 minutes. What the fuck? I'm telling you, this Chelios legend card, I know that I'm the one that's controlling it, so it's my fault, but he plays like absolute fucking garbage. This is his second game. He's at least got a hit or 2. That's helpful because I need 20 and I had 15. Almost all of which happened in the last game. That's good. Tripped up? What? Hold on, was I even controlling him? I hit buttons, but I don't know if I was actually controlling him. I guess it was. Let's see what buttons I was hitting. Oh god, I lose Modano. Modano's like my favorite player, man. I thought it would be Sakic, and he is boss, but like, god damn it. So what is it that I clicked that became is it just he ran into him and then he fell down? Where's this stick supposedly? That's like a fucking, it's a dive. It's like a FIFA player dive. Got Modano and Shelley in the box. I was gonna say it should switch to saying 5-on-3. Did that count as a shot? If so, that'd be pretty cool. I thought, what the fuck? I thought, was that Messi? I thought that he was like sitting there. Get the bouncer. Oh, fuck you. I wasn't, god damn it, I wasn't holding down, just score. I wasn't holding down the sprint button before I hit, I let go. Is that Sakic? Is that seriously Sakic? This is like, how to not play. I granted my, Jesus Christ. Klose is really gonna take the, okay, yeah, Klose taking the face off here. Yeah, so, what the fuck was that? That's not even remotely close to who I passed, but that's fine. Yeah, so I mean, clearly my special teams is gonna be my better players. Go, 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 go! Why is he so much faster when I'm not controlling him? Fun. Oh, the drip just came in. Feels slightly better to start. That's a score. Oh, okay. I pressed up and left and shoot. I'm not really sure how that turns into go ahead and shoot directly ahead of you. Yeah, so like Sakic and Modano are like 2 of my actual favorite players on my team. Makita just annoys the shit out of me. 4th line center, you gotta kind of keep him in there for face-offs on special teams because he's one of the 99ers. I don't mean his overall, I mean his face-off stat. Yeah, so you got those 2 in there along with Shelley, who I just like want to have a little bit of an experience with because I don't think that I'm gonna hang on to him. He's untradeable, so I'd have to legend him up before I could actually sell him, and I probably wouldn't do that because I'd love to have his 99 card. I don't, you know, but I said that about the 90, whatever the fuck this is, 93, the whole year, and now that I have it, I'm like, nah, I don't want him anymore. He's terrible. This is standard 90 overall legend Nieuwendyk, by the way, who I think I put in as my third line center. I know he lost that face-off, but I'm playing at a higher level right now. He is just so fucking good. It is. Will you quit hitting me? It's not even remotely close to where I fucking aimed, and now they get a breakaway. Just fuck yourself. So cunty. So fucking annoying. And yeah, I love that the game decides that it knows better than I do of what the fuck I want to do. Why don't you just like do what I actually click and fuck yourself.
Getting a 2-minute boarding penalty. As you can see here, Doc, no chance for the attacking player to protect himself.
Yeah, they've done that about 30 times so far this game. So, you know, it's cool to like get it called once.
4 players aside, and the face-off. With both teams a man short, they get
what is the fuck was that? I didn't do a tie-up. How do you not pick that up, you fucking degenerate piece of shit?
Nice work by Emsky. A shot. That one
Yep.
right off his hand.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, this is how I have to score now. At this level. So I think, I mean, it starts right there. That's good to know. Like, I think I'm right there. That's what I'm looking for. Not you know, not top and not top right. I probably should have gone a little bit more to the right. Then you can see what I'm doing with the rest of the shot here. And I step into it. It's all good. Form's good. Everything's solid. I guess I moved it over. So I was top right, and I was I guess in the process of shooting, I must have like accidentally pulled it over to top and went a little bit top left. But this is basically how I score against these teams now at this point. So just kind of bang it as hard as I possibly fucking can at their shoulder. It goes crazy high up into the air, and then either like you get lucky on a bounce, or they, with you not even necessarily being anywhere around them, they just kind of like walk it into the net for you, which I was kind of expecting out of Skye there, but looks like, what are they saying happened instead? How am I not at least like getting like a kick from one of my players? We're getting forward momentum along with forward momentum of the players. Right. So I kicked it, and then he kicked it away from the net. Yeah, that makes a ton of fucking sense.
The Rangers have the puck at center ice. That one is pointed to him. Oh, terrific save on a great chance. The shooter thought he had a chance, but the goaltender robs him.
What are you doing, retard? Oh my god, I passed it before he got to me. Fuck you. Fucking lying cunt. Who is this? He's fast as shit. Yeah. How on a 4-on-4 matchup is every one of my players defended against properly? Fucking cunt. And like, okay, yeah, so this is actually happening. So Comfer and Nieuwendyk are both in, and Comfer's the one taking the face-off. Let's try this again. No, that did not work. Okay, well, yeah, there's something very wrong with my either controller or the delay from doing a broadcast, because I wasn't even in the time zone of where I actually selected that. Ah, it was such a good deflection. And when did I switch over to a power play? Somehow I missed that little And it's my second squad. It's Makita. I know he's good at winning faceoffs, but like I just don't want him in there anymore. Oh my god! You're taking it out of the zone. I didn't even like the offside warning didn't even pop up on that one because they were just like, no, we're gonna give the puck to you right outside of the zone, and then we're gonna make you be offside. Jesus Christ. Yep, pass down. That means I want you to bank it off into the right and into the opposing team. It's exactly what I wanted. My guys are going like... My guys are playing like they're that fucking football electronic game. It's like, was that Rock'em Sock'em Football or some shit? Where they just like spin around like retards and don't do actually anything. It's basically what my guys are doing at this point on the ice here. And I'm playing just for the lulz of... Oh my god. Oh my god, that was fucking perfect. Fuck you. I finally had it. I finally clicked the right buttons. That's nonsense. Oh, they scored. God, it sucks. That shot with Comfort on the short side. So perfect. Sucks.
Solid, clean win. The Oil Kings with control at center ice. Brister, great save.
New York's really taken the air out of the game defensively, Doc. Their goaltender hasn't had much to do, but he stopped the shots that he's had to.
That's gonna go in. Oh, got lucky there.
He saved it.
That was Chelly again. Being a bit silly. Go it! Yeah! Hold on. That went in the net, and then my guy grabbed it. And pulled it out of the net after it was in. He pulled it through the net, I believe. Let's watch that for fun. For shits and giggles. So, I mean, it's almost a goal at that point. See when it becomes official. After the dive back. Miss. Does he knock it in himself? Nope, I think it's actually my guy. And I'm shooting. Well, yeah, I'm trying to get it in the goal. So I got it in, but look at this. He pulls it. He pulls it. That's fucking crazy. Come on, glitch game. Be more fucking glitchy. He pulls it through the net and is like, yeah, that was me. I did that. Who's that? That's Nieuwendyk. So is that who they're saying scored the goal? So silly. So fucking silly. That I love. Just if those were real people, and they're giving it to Nieuwendyk.
Man, they jumped up in a hurry on the bench beside me, guys. That last minute
I mean, like, glitches have it on the rag in here. There's not much they can do on the dev side. You know, you could spend a lot more to like try to limit the glitches even more, but just missed the net completely. Oh, come on! Oh, fuck me. Oh, we get another shot there? Nope. What? Ah, I didn't turn fully. Fuck you. Give me... Chelly, what are you doing? So, I mean, like, the cost of trying to bring the glitches down in a way is just, it's more than the value you can get from whatever. So it's not a thing. But usually it's like it's like my players, and sometimes the CPU opponents, like going from like basically as far out as the dots to like suddenly on top of the tendy and then flipping over them, either like over them and then like into the nets, or on top of the goal, or like past the goal and into the boards. It's really fucked up, honestly. And I think they did something that makes it so that that animation, that was my bad, he's gonna score now. I passed right over here to 27. Who is that? Is that Hayton? I don't think so. Hayton's not my front line.
And it is 2-1 the score in this one. A very big face-off win here. Okay. Puck is thrown to Buchnevich. Passing one off now to Kreider. Intercepted by Madonna.
Oh my! You can't even make that pass? Fuck you! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Why is nobody going for the? What is going on? It's very confusing. And why do they keep shooting for me? I mean, I appreciate it, but. Oh my God. Yeah, in case you can't tell, I'm not playing with regular controls, so I'm not controlling these line changes. So dude I was just trying to pass to jumped off. I didn't ask him to do that, and I definitely passed that before getting hit, but that's fine. I'm gonna get to go on the break now. Get away from me, man. Fuck you. And then how would you turn back into the guy that's trying to do? Stupid fucking idiot. Yeah, I love when I just run past the puck as opposed to playing it at all.
At this point in the game, you cannot afford to make any mistakes. That puck's got to get in deep.
Good defensive play, hand to eye and center ice. Looks ahead to start something. He works it along with a pass off the boards.
That's somebody that's been around. He took a quick look up the middle of the ice, nothing there, so he banks it off the boards to his partner, and out of the zone they go.
Looks about knocked away by Emsky.
Oh, I thought I was gonna pull a. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, I'm not bitching. I was gonna say I thought I was gonna pull a penalty there. Just 399s, just ripping 399s on one play. I'm more excited than they're showing right there. They're showing quite a bit of excitement. Jordan Subban jumping in on the celebration. Not sure who the other D-man would be. I mean, I don't know why I'm showing this. It's like, I'd say it's like I mean, that was not even like a novel approach 12 years ago in this series. Like literally. But that was fun because I've tried it. Oh shit. I've tried it and it has not worked up to this point. Like usually I haven't even been able to even get the pass over to him. God damn it. Oh fuck! I thought I was. Fuck me. Nope. Nope. Thank you. I hope that's not a penalty. Alright, cool. Whoa, whoa. Nope, that was really stupid.
60 seconds left. Will it be enough to get a winner here?
Wow, I shot that like 5 seconds before he actually shot it. That was fucking weird. I don't... Wow, that's Chelly. That's Chelly doing his thing. That was not me controlling him. That was a penalty on them, but that's cool. Yeah, that was going to get blocked by any of the 3 guys that were in between me and the net. Where's my... Here we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, 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 no! It was like nobody... I was like, I'm better off like passing to myself. It's so stupid. How does it... What? Since when can you poke check all the way out to your dude? Oh, God. Oh, Nelly. Turned into kind of a fun game. I mean, they had 2 legit goals against me. I had one, like, not... Well, hard to determine if it was like an actual goal. It was kind of just taking advantage of, like, not a true glitch, but like just a fuck that he just like pulled through the net for the goal, which is fun. And then the other one was just kind of standard part of the game for 12 years, but doesn't really get off very often at this level. At All-Star, Superstar. Shit. I can't... Fuck me. I couldn't even see who had it.
Nicely into the zone. Great save. Usually when you see shoving and pushing after a whistle, it leads up to something bigger, and I mean a lot bigger. A great face-off.
Wow.
Just the right time.
Dude.
Nice stand-up poke check there.
Dub. Bink. Makita. Beep beep. It's a coin for the dub. Man, I've struggled to get this. I've lost at least like twice, I think. It's only like 2,000, maybe 2,250 coins. It's really not something to get super excited about. I guess if I did that like 5 more times, I'd have enough to buy a premium pack, but still. It's just, it's fun to know that like it's gonna work before it works. Even with, I mean, is that Henrique? He's just so out of position there. And made I guess he thought I was gonna go low. Alright, so we got the dailies other than the buying from the auction house. And then just my shit about online, because I suck at online. It's like the only stuff I have left for all the other Dragons and Mouse ones. How about stats? How bad was it? They only outshot me 25 to 18. I did have 2 more hits. I actually had more TOA, which is kind of surprising. But they were pretty quick on the attack, and you know, the only 2 goals. It's without trying to get too outcome based. You know, going up against a 93 free agent Kincaid. You know, I feel like, you know, they didn't really make his 23 saves that difficult. I'm not complaining, obviously, but I think that's part of the reason why they didn't really have much TOA, and in a brief, because how quick did that? Yeah, it doesn't. I forget. It doesn't like tell you on there. It was a pretty brief OT period. So even with a little bit of an OT period, of which I didn't spend a ton of time on attack because I pretty much just scored. I generally don't lead in TOA, except against really low-rated teams, and I also generally Okay, I guess that makes more sense. This was a 4-minute period game, so that's 12 minutes before the overtime. So yeah, out of 12 minutes, you should be able to put up more than a minute. But generally speaking, I don't do the whole thing of like, fucking swimming around forever to be able to try to find that glitch on like the short side wrister or some shit like that. And you could say like, well, you tried to get some of those types of goals off. We saw you do it in this game, sure, but I was up against a far superior opponent compared to my abilities or skill level or whatever that I'd already lost to a bunch, and didn't feel like whatever. So I tried, and it was whatever. So yeah, leading on TOA and having the TOA be more than a minute is unusual. Passing when I'm not focusing on it at 75% is super high for me, which just indicates that like when you need a minute of TOA, or you need even 50% or higher passing, those are things that I have to like focus on to ensure that I'm actually going to get that star in the challenge or whatever the fuck it is. I worked my ass off on face-offs, considering I was dealing with the NHL 94 controls. Much more difficult. You just don't have the buttons to be able to do a lot of this stuff. I'm pretty pleased with 15 to 11. Even 15 to 10 would mean that they had a 3 to 2 advantage over me. And there definitely were some face-offs that they won like super easily that I felt like they probably should not have, especially considering that my first and second line centers are both 99 in faceoffs, and my fourth line center Makita is as well, and Nieuwendyk isn't exactly a slouch. I don't know if he's playing as a 99 with the faceoff master synergy activated, but he's pretty fucking close as well. So if that means anything, they definitely felt like there were some faceoffs that they won pretty easily that I felt like were not really justified. But either way, 15 to 11 I would absolutely take against this particular team at this level. Penalty minutes was annoying. I took 3 to their 1, and neither of us scored. And I only technically was on the power play for 19 seconds because mine came at the tail end of my advantage came at the tail end of a break even when they fucked up on their one penalty that they took. So I didn't really have a power play opportunity in my opinion, and so clearly no shorthanded goals either. Game stats, anything else worth pointing out? 3 to 2, it's kind of the important part. Shots, they had the advantage. Face-offs, we were talking about those. Do the action tracker, I don't know. I look at the team. How about, let's find out about Shelly. +1. Okay, so it didn't feel that way to me. How did they do in minutes? So, yeah, top end. Hayden must be. He's left-handed. He must be my frontline RD at the moment, which is strange. But that's kind of all that makes sense there. As I said, I've been loving Comper. I guess he's 96. I was thinking he was 97 for some reason. And then Sakic, a big fan. Clues has been helpful. I knew it, like I wasn't lying. It's just the 90 legend. It's not even the 95 Nations of Hockey. It's not the 99 upgrade. Yeah, Kyra, also been big. Leno I mentioned. I mean this dude is, I believe he's third line D. So I would expect there you go. I would expect Chelios to be next on the list. I'm not really sure why. I think Klus and Kyra must be my second line D-men, is what it is. Messier, despite being like my best player and he was my frontline center. I might have moved him to second. I move him and Sakic back and forth because they're basically equivalent. But since switching to the Rangers upgrade this month with it took like, I don't know, 5 or 6 collectibles or whatever. Definitely worthwhile in my opinion. The Rangers is a true 99, whereas the one that we got last month, the Canucks, was not as much, or at least not in my opinion. So definitely enjoying the upgrade there. So I kind of tend to switch back and forth between him and Sakic. It looks like Sakic got a lot more minutes, but that could just be more due to the fact that we were on the penalty kill for like 5 minutes and 15 seconds or something out of the 12-minute plus overtime game. Bartelis is, I don't know, third line forward or something. Really liked when I picked this card up, and have still enjoying it. Legend Beep Beep putting in the third and final goal. Can't be mad at that. That 1 point was kind of the difference in the game. Legend Howard Chuck kind of didn't do anything. -1. Spezza, as I said, it's his underlying stats are like, they're so solid. And like if you need him for a face-off, you can do it. And I don't know. I feel like if I could get Chelios's card upgraded, and I understand that in this game they both played together, but if I could get like the Chelios card upgraded, I feel like I could justify having him as a permanent spot on the team. And even though I think I subbed him for a relatively shitty player on the third line D, who is just in there for synergy, and Spezza's not really giving me any synergy at this point, I think I would just like look to move away from Spezza. I think there's something about right-handed centers that I just don't really care all that much for. I gave up on Ferraro a long time ago. I didn't do the upgrade last month to the 94 or 5 or whatever, so I don't have an opportunity to upgrade him to 99 this month. And I think I'm probably okay with that. I'll maybe go and look at whatever the 99 is and see if I felt like I missed out on something. But I definitely didn't feel like I was missing out on too much for the 95, and I don't really want the 88 Ferraro that I've had since the first month of upgrades, the first month of collectibles. I don't really like having him in there. He's all three of those players, Makita, Spezza, and Ferraro, are all solid at taking faceoffs, unlike basically all present day centers. But I don't really like any of them taking it. It's just that technically Sakic and Messier, but Messier's Rangers version is even better now. Even though they're both 99, from experience you can feel that they're better. So that's what my penalty kill is, I believe, which is why I'm kind of confused as to how Messier only got 2 minutes and 41 seconds. His standard line must have not had much of a chance to get into the game, and so that's just minutes that he picked up on the penalty kill. But I believe he's the penalty kill first line center, and then Makita is the next. Now also we fucked up with penalties. Now Chelios had 1. Why would you... Oh, penalty minutes, there we go. Like, why would you want to show something like a statistic? Okay, so maybe Sakic is my other penalty kill penalty kill first line center, because he went into the box, as did Medano after Chelios. So those are my 6 minutes. So I guess Messier just didn't have a chance to get out there, because the second line penalty kill was out for most of that time. Or maybe I did something really stupid and took Messier off of both penalty kill lines. And I don't know what special teams I would have him on outside of overtime, clearly. But he's basically the best overall card that I have. So I don't know why I wouldn't want him over there. And then looking at these things, like when you play against, offline CPU, it's just like whatever. It's like you can look at like Zabinajad, who's the only one that took the penalty for them. His base card's like an 81, and the person that I just played against is probably like it felt like playing against like a 99 level Zabinajad. It's like just fucking stupid. I don't care for it very much. I understand people want to get want to feel as if they're being challenged or whatever the fuck, but like the people that are good enough to even be challenged, they beat the offline stuff in like 7 to like a week or 3 at most, and then they move on. So for those of us that are still trying in mid-August, maybe don't make it so that Superstar versus the Islanders is the most impossible game that has ever occurred. So I got 6 out of 10. Does that mean I got 4 more on that level, and then the full 10 on the last one, I guess? Whatevs. Give me that daily reward. Give me something super sweet. No. What the... Oh, there's my 2K that I just won. I was like, what is going on there? Silver common. Huge. Just huge. 100 coins. Huge. Huge. Makes or breaks my team. Alright, fuck it. We'll buy 2 useless items from the auction house just to get the collectible. Especially if I'm going to be off tomorrow before I get my rewards from stuff. To maybe jump into MLB The Show 19. So here's the base Kyra. Not exactly a stellar card. I didn't get it until after I had the free agency card, which I feel is kind of weird. This one wasn't issued until like 2 days ago. Apparently they want to go ahead and sell it. Yeah, I mean 83 speed and even lower on shot, which is not good, but I mean it's a gold common. I don't know what someone would expect from that. It's at 87 Dowdy, like 20k. I have that much. Good speed, not good enough shot. The cards that were so huge beginning of the year, like Ovi's been around like 14 since like day one. That's so crazy. Even though like people paid like 100k for him. 215 for Howie, really? Here's 86 primetime Bergie. I don't think the primetime had face-off master too. So there you go. That's what I was talking about. Is 89 plus 2, 91. I'm pretty sure mine. I'm almost 100% positive mine is a team of the week. How much is the Aho? 1200. Buy now 1300. Probably a good thing that it moved for me. Now you can turn your McCarty into a 99. I don't know why you would want, unless it's just because it's like cheaper, so like whatever. But I don't know. And the Drew Doughty that everyone loved so much for so long, people still want 60K for this. It just seems insane. Like, again, like not even necessarily end game speed, though it's close. Then shots really not there. You're getting 4 different synergies. They're not really good in my opinion. The rest of the stats are fine if you think that defensive stuff matters, which it doesn't. He's got okay body. 6'1", 200 is not as tall or as big as I would like, if that's kind of what I was looking for. 15K for Olczyk, huh? 99 Truba, 240. You are fucking insane. That's absurd. Accuracy is a little weak. Pretty solid for a defender, clearly. 6'3", 202. Again, size, good. As far as height goes, weight, I would say not so much. Cheevers, 97. The 94 Diamond Gretzky. Adam Oates. I have not seen this up for auction very much. Pretty fucking solid as far as speed and shot for a slightly smaller guy. Can take face-offs too, but he's a 99 and he's not. His face-offs are not 99, so it's kind of a detriment. But he's like pretty close to a pure 99. I don't have an interest in giving up 166 for it. Yeah, these people that want this much for Larkin are out of their fucking gourds. His max speed, his shot's good, but no, he's just I know the card plays terrible. Huh. That's from competitive seasons. Huh. That is interesting. And he plays small enough with the handles that this card could play well. And he's got max discipline and low aggression, average poise and no fighting skill and good durability. What about endurance? 89. That's like probably the only knock that I'd have on the card. 99 Andrew Tuck wants 220, and the Shifley wants 500. Nope, 160 now. I'm moving down to normal levels. Where is the break hit? Ooh, 99 Kuzi, 186. Man, I don't look for 96s. What am I missing here? I guess power is weak, but accuracy is solid, and he's got fine shooting to go with it. And for the boys, so those are kind of all maxed with the synergies. His checking is low. His defense is not great for an endgame card, but he's not a 99. So this person won this back in May. Where'd it go? I don't know. I'm gonna toss it on the watch list. I don't have 100K, but it's interesting. Everyone was talking about this 99 Kuzi. I don't get it. Accuracy's there, power's solid, handles are perfect. I don't know. I don't see why it's 186, but whatever. 80K for the 95 Chuck Pump versus 33 for Sidler. Here's my card. There you go. Face-off master, team of the week, 86, 89 plus 2, 91. Date issued October 20th. I told y'all I didn't have to go back into my my own collection to be able to show you. A lot of these are like really improperly priced. Like, that's not a $19,000 card. I'm sorry, it's just not. the Mafi at Christmas, the Christmas Mafi, still looking for 70K. That seems absurd. Ty Domi pulling 115K. I don't get that at all. I had a chance to take Ron Hainsey in my choice pack in a tradable format. And I thought as a defender, 6'3", 205, left-handed on the left side, which means I'd play him on the right. I thought it was pretty good, you know. Speed's there. Endurance is like a lot of cards, just a little weak. 89 is kind of like the lowest end that I would look for on a kind of standard player that I might want to play on you know, multiple lines, or at least not on the back line. And especially for a defender, you know, if you want to actually play a defender on defense, shot power isn't amazing. It's good enough. Accuracy, though, is a little bit weak, and I think that was probably one of the main things that convinced me to go a different route. I had better choices in the choice pack. Someone is here. Welcome to it. We've been here for 3 hours. We're looking. I have to pick up 2 cards, and I got 33K to do it with. Trying to decide who I should buy. If you're selling anything over on the PS4 side that you'd like me to buy from you, you can let me know. 89 Konoye. If I didn't have the Legend version, I would maybe consider this. Probably slightly overpriced. And I didn't upgrade and I didn't buy it either. I got it from the choice pack. So I definitely could still do that upgrade, but that would probably be, I don't know, 2 or 3, at least 1 for sure, carbon collectible. It's probably not worth it. My Peyton Krebs is currently on offer for 1,000 coins. Kind of hope I get more than that. I don't think I'm going to get 15 like this person's asking for, though. Philip Forsberg, too. At least this one's finally come down a little bit in value, but 40K for something that hasn't had value in months is absurd. Like, Jet Woo has more value. 2 for It's a Trap, too, which is something that would be helpful for me. The other 2 are not, though. Yeah, the shot accuracy is just not there, even for a defender. Well, I mean, I like the low price, but that's pretty much all that I like about it. This. Ooh, where'd that go? Just a bit new. Huh. Yeah, I can flip this Curry. I would think, because this is basically what I sold it for yesterday. But could I get 8,800? Probably. Just put it on there just in case. 32.5. I hate how they switched the alumni all the way. Was all the way at the bottom. Where is it on the list? There we go. Alright, so we're on 89 LD. Is he? Jesus Christ. OFD? Yeah, that's what I thought. So the 80, it's funny, like the 86, like everyone wants to sell for even less than the 85 saw me, and the 88, it's a bit more. 18. What? Oh, that's 3 hours. Fuck me. That's 24. We want to buy it outright though. I'd imagine he probably wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't play my team. If I'm bitching about legend Chelios, I can't really justify tossing this coffee on there. Get the fuck out of here, Phil Housey. Don't waste of space. So people are only selling the base, huh? Okay. Or no, because we got it on alumni. Shit. I gotta switch to. And then if he's got, fuck me, man. If his thing's a choice pack, it'll be on different teams. Let's at least do that, and then let's switch this so we can see the legend. Jesus Christ. Fuck am I? So there's the 99. Jeez. 500? You're insane. Right back.